welcome to Christmas Saves. We're doing the thing.
That's such fast movement. I wasn't prepared for it.
Your peripheral, you detected a threat.
Threat detection.
And you were ready to jump into action.
The threat was 0.
The threat was 0. It was finger guns.
I could be threatening.
No.
I could be imposing.
You're a bottom.
To what?
There's a certain if we were in an alley and it was you were already scared and someone already chased you that night, then maybe you'd see me and you'd be like, oh god, is that another?
And then you opened a door next to it.
You can't even
and
maintain
it was
eye
one of those
contact
cheap,
while threatening somebody.
It was one of those
I
cheap
can't
jump scares.
I'll kill you. You. In Roblox, I don't think that works anymore.
I would watch both of you fight to the death in real life and Roblox.
Okay, cool.
If that's what it was, if that's what it came to, you know, I'd be like, all right.
Well, Alex is a gamer. So.
Alex,
what does that mean?
You would immediately die if you guys had like a Roblox fight, and I don't think
that's
Alex
true.
has even played
No,
Roblox.
not one time. I haven't even never downloaded it.
Well, and let's assume your anger is both at the same level,
We're
right?
bloodlusted.
You're bloodlusted. You're both seeing red. I'm not picking you in this fight.
What if I get a bat and he gets
bat?
nothing?
Still
why
no.
is there like a
When it starts to get
handicap?
sharp, you start getting a chance.
It's a bat and it has a single nail in it.
I don't
one?
trust that you could puncture him.
Bat covered in nails. Negan. It's a Negan situation.
Now you're talking.
Okay.
Now you're talking.
Right.
And that's why you carry one of those around Pride. Just in case someone wants to catch something. Anyway, we're here for the dandy. Is there anything we need to do? We had a week off. You guys are level 4. We did that though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think there's anything else that we need to do besides introduce the game. So let's do it. Last we left off, the group Anomalous Investigations has taken their first case to begin chapter 1. And this is the curious case of Mr. Rupert Crabblebottom, who has told you that his daughter has gone missing. Where we left off was him about to regale you all with the story. We are in 84 Bay Ridge, your warehouse turned business front, on a rainy day, about 3 months after you delivered the Vrac bounty. And Isabella has gathered all of you as a customer has come in responding to the ad that you all decided to put into the paper all the way from Larock. And as the 3 of you approach from wherever it is, I assume from your basement science dungeon, wherever you were, it was the middle of the night, so you could be sleeping or out.
Probably upstairs.
Probably upstairs. So working on stuff. Isabella comes and gets you. And as you walk up, descending the stairs or ascending your stairs, as you approach the front room, which is now cordoned off so that the back space is private for you, there's like a foyer up front with leather chairs and seating, a desk where Isabella sits, and you see her notebook sitting out front, something she uses to tabulate quick notes about things, and you see her perfect penmanship. And you see a frail-looking older man, mid-60s, maybe 70s, very, very thin and wiry, long fingers. Probably at one point stood as tall as 6 feet, but in his age and I don't know, some sort of like, he's not necessarily like wasting away, but it seems like he's lost a lot of weight from whatever his recent high point was. Maybe not recently, but in the last year or so. Just an old guy kind of having old guy weight loss. So he looks extra frail. His eyes are a little gaunt, but he's well dressed. He wears a tweed jacket. He wears a vest. He has a gold chain that comes from a little pocket that you assume is a pocket watch as you walk up, down to his waistband. Nice pleats. He crosses his leg, and he sort of is picking at the side of his shoe nervously. A nice shoe, but that has seen some wear on it. A small, hat that seems to cover sort of this graying band of hair around his sides, very gaunt. And on his earlobes and on his chin, like a goatee, are signs of marble plague, the sickness that you get when you use moon chips for long periods of time, but that you know, as native members of Larock and the Havian Vales, is also used as a status symbol in both the Vales, but especially Methenalos and the capital city in the Elven side. It shows that this man was once of extreme wealth, because moonships are much more rare the further away you get from the Asari domain. But that doesn't seem to be the case any longer, as he looks all of you over as you approach. And I guess, just because this is your first interview here, is there any sort of specific place you like to be when customers come in and people come in with cases? Is there any...
I'm going to sit directly across from him.
Okay, so...
I'll be at my desk.
So he sits sort of in a leather chair that's meant for the person that you're interviewing. Then there's
I would have put
side
out
chairs.
a couple of single-seater chairs and at least one sort of double seat,
Okay.
love-seater lounge.
Yeah. Okay. And is there anything that anyone wants to do or pay attention to as he walks in? Is there anything you guys want to do?
No, just making sure I have a fresh
Yeah.
note page open.
Yeah.
And as they walk in, he goes, "Is that everyone?"
Yes, sir.
As he sips his tea that you got him, he sort of sets it down and it sort of clinks as his hand shakes a little bit, not from fear, just from being old. Then he sort of looks at you, he moves his foot down, and he assumes a more upright posture. My name is Rupert Crabblebottom. I was a professor of history for some time in the city of Larock. Well, outside the city of Larock, but I would commute to the city to work. As I was telling your associate here, I have a daughter missing. Her name is Belinda Crabblebottom. I'm sorry, Belinda Carmine Crabblebottom. She hyphenated after the marriage.
I'm
Well,
sorry, Melissa. What Crabblebottom?
Not Belinda.
Belinda. I'm sorry.
Belinda.
Belinda.
Carmine.
Carmine Crabblebottom. Well, of course, she's my daughter. She married up. We were very happy. This was several years ago, before her mother died. Well, as time has gone on, she is, like many children, less in touch.
How did her mother die, if you don't mind me asking?
He gets sad for a moment. Stomach cancer. Anyways, we had many, many good years together. 50 of them. And, well, you're from Larock, it seems. From the Vales. Not sure where the two of you come from, but you know how it is for young women. Marry, rearing children. She was never enthusiastic about it. No problem myself. That's more of an old style. And since the moon crash, well, young people have their ways, and I don't mean to impose on her, but then she met Lord Carmine. A good man. Kineticist, professor of toxicology, member of the Council of Flesh. A high-ranking member of society. And easy nice. Dowry was bountiful. The party was excellent. The wedding was gorgeous. We went down to the Rock Center for Family as well. It seems to have changed. She hadn't returned my letters for some time, and, well, I hadn't taken the trip out. You see, they live, well, closer to here than to the Rock, but the train doesn't go straight there. And he sort of thinks in his head. Well, it's along the river and runs north out of the Rock. And he has an estate out there. It's a little secluded, but he has a compound. They call him Lord because he has staff that works and lives on the land with him. It's like a small community. And when I went there not 2 months ago, I was turned away at the gate. I'm just worried about her.
How long has it been that she's stopped writing?
Maybe a month before that?
When you were turned away, were you given a specific reason or just told to leave the premises?
It was a little... Their intentions seemed to be facade. Please leave. The Lord and Lady are not here right now. But Belinda wouldn't do that. Belinda wouldn't send me away without saying something, or at least meeting me at the gate. I could see the estate from where I was, though it was a walk. It shouldn't have been too far. I just hope she's in good health, and I hope... I don't know. I've tried reaching out to the Ministry of Family. I've tried to reach out to the Ministry of Flesh to see if I can get maybe Dr. Linus Mast on it. See if I could reach out, but I only have so many connections with my former education's specialization, so my time at university was short. I studied mostly at Farnhouses, the capital, but not... When the Rock was built, well, then we moved our family out with the boom of industry and, well, away from the east side of the country. It was more ravaged by the second falling. But I don't know, I'm rambling, and he sort of grabs his tea. And
Are you sure that she wouldn't just, say, cut you out?
If she did, I'm not sure why. We've had no fights or arguments. We had no disagreements. At her mother's funeral, we embraced and cried and had many good conversations throughout the night. We've spent holidays together. It's not like her. I wouldn't ask. Well, no one in my country seems to be doing anything. Maybe I'm just paranoid, but I have a little money, and I saw your ad when I was traveling in town.
Before she had cut off contact with the letters, had she mentioned any issues she had with Lord Carmine? Were they having any disagreements, or...
No.
Everything seemed fine, nothing off as far as she
Yes,
left.
he had work.
Were there changes in tone over time?
No, not that I recall. I should have brought the letters. I didn't even think of it. I just...
And you're sure it was her handwriting?
Yes, you'd seen he's not considered it not being hers, but it was so familiar that he...
You certainly didn't notice any incongruity.
No, it didn't seem strange, and the content of our letters were...
Have any of her older letters, plus that one, by chance?
No. I don't have her letters with me. And he sort of daps. Yes.
So, it's less that she's missing and more that she's
I
sort of...
believe she's still on the property. I still believe she's at her estate. What I hoped I could do is simply hire some people to investigate and see if you can get... He has regular soirees at his manor. He has... The people go in and out. I was pushed away. So...
Well, if he doesn't know us...
If she's okay and she doesn't want to talk to me, that's fine. He'll still get paid. I just want to know that she's okay. I don't want you to do anything or disrupt their lives. I'm not interested in I don't know, unless he's done something horrible, but even in that case...
Do you want us to deliver a message?
I'm not looking for I don't know. We have an entire train ride to figure these things out. I'll have to collect my thoughts on these things, but... There's a train tonight. If you're willing to take the night train in an hour
Why
or
not?
so, and he sort of goes to the watch and...
What did you say?
90 minutes.
What did you say the payment would be again for this?
Well, I don't have a lot of liquid money on me. In my retirement, the estate sort of sustains itself, and I get a small stipend. But I do have valuables. I don't have it with me. I don't travel with such things. But and although it is illegal in this country, sort of looks around. Doesn't seem like any of you are cops or anything like that. Or I have a ring that's been of magic use for some time and maintains its magic even now in the death of the gods. And I suspect it's harder to get these things nowadays. Maybe it would have been something a little more common 30, 40 years ago, but now could be quite useful. A ring that has served my family a long time, certainly worth your time, I assure you. And before you do anything, I will invite you to my home. I will allow you to peruse this ring and see if it is up to your standards, and if not, if you don't want to do it, well, then you just head on right back. I'll pay for your passage. I truly just want to see if she's okay.
Would you mind giving the room to us to discuss this case? And
Absolutely.
we could meet up.
At the train station.
Yes.
So you'll do it?
I'd like to discuss first. It's probably okay. Give us a little bit. Just a
I'll
couple
meet
of
you
minutes.
near the Zephyr line, near the ticketing station, wherever the nearest shelter is from the elements, and I'll await you. If you don't show by the time the train comes, well, then I'll just get on it myself. Have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you soon. And he sort of
I'll
takes tea
escort
and
him
finishes
out.
it,
Yeah.
and then he
I'll
knocks it off.
pick it up and walk him out.
You walk
close
him
the
out.
door.
He grabs his bigger coat. He has like a a blazer, and then he has like a outer coat that he took off. And he takes that off the hanger and he puts that on. And he sort of buttons it up a little bit and ties the sash. And he looks at you and he goes, "Thank you, dear girl." And he heads on out, and the cold, almost sleet. It's freezing rain right now. No, that's fine.
Okay. Scared me.
It's not a thing. You let him out, and the door shuts. You are alone in the warehouse.
So, how do we feel about this?
I am interested.
I don't see any reason not to.
I understand if there are some reservations about going back near where you are from.
At some point it would happen eventually, I assume.
How do we feel about his supposed magic ring?
We will
I'm
see.
not fucking taking that ring this time. You guys can have it. No fucking way. Nope, get me out of
The
that.
trauma was so hard I jumped out of character.
Campaign 1 trauma. Go to the YouTube to see that.
You have identify. We can just.
We'll know what the ring is capable of.
Perhaps it will be simple anyway. Maybe she does just not want to talk to him for some reason.
Probably wouldn't be too hard to get into the estate, anyways.
Sure.
Maybe, maybe not.
Are
Don't
you
know.
sure?
Do we know Lord
We might-
Carmine?
Do you know Lord Carmine? I would say you do not know Lord Carmine. However, you do know what a kineticist is, professor of toxicology, and what the Council of Flesh is. He seems to be, if he is a lord, there are many lords. There are people that live outside cities on homesteads or manors or castles or whatever, all throughout the Vales. Many of it is traditionally passed down. Think of it like England a little bit, where, although people don't just live in castles nowadays usually, but like if they did. The castles are familial, and so Carmine is probably a name that has some significance, though it would predate Larocque, and you're not really history guys, so and neither of you have proficiency in history, right? Neither of you.
No, I do.
You
I
have
have +6.
proficiency. Proficiency?
I think I might.
I'll let you.
I have everything but religion for intelligence.
I would say then it
I
wouldn't
do
be a
have
roll.
history.
You do have proficiency in history?
Mhm.
Okay, how about this? Between the two of you, roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
Wait.
Both of you roll disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Fuck.
See if you get any more information.
7.
7.
13.
Natural. 13.
Yeah.
He's not a well-known. He's not like a famous guy. So there's not really reason for you to know him. There's no like social media or anything that looks like that. So you maybe remember him because of the way that you remember things. You maybe remember his name across like different books. And Carmine sounds, it's such a normal name. It's like
One of
maybe
those names in the
he's
culture
probably been
is-
cited in papers and stuff. If he's in the Ministry
it's
of Flesh, you've
around.
probably seen it around. That's probably as much as you can get. I'd say with those roles, you don't really know anything. He did mention that he works under Dr. Linus Mast, who you both know is the Minister of Flesh, is the highest. So he's some lieutenant under that purview. So upper, but
Comparatively
he's not like
to Padre on that.
to your
hierarchy.
dad. Your dad is a level down from that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like 2 tiers above us.
Yeah. Lord Carmine is 3 tiers
Okay.
above you. So is Cain. Cain is another minister, and then below that would be lords, and then below that would be kind of like what you guys have. So it just depends.
Yeah.
Everyone is some form of upper class in Larocque.
True.
Everyone. And if you're working class, you're high middle. So, any more questions about the general thing? Any of this? Yeah. You also have like the city map.
No, I wanted to see the Larocque. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to
So it's this
put
way,
my
right?
stamp of approval on this.
Yeah,
one.
if you look at your
I wanted to make sure.
if you look at
I
your-
didn't see the compass. Yeah, we're good.
if you look at your map, it follows the river east and
I
then
should get
north.
a big approved stamp. So every
From
time I do
Lorac.
one of these,
The
it's
map-
like a sheet,
this map.
Yeah,
and then I keep
okay, I got
it.
Yeah.
I can do like a deny.
So he's not in Lorac.
He's north of it.
You need like Mr.
North and
Button's smiley
northeast,
frowny
yeah.
faces. Too.
Yeah, but the train doesn't go there, so it's.
I need kitty cat
Oh, yeah,
approved
okay.
stamps. I'm gonna have so much fucking just like stationery because of Isabella.
And though we don't have them printed out physical, though that would be cool, maybe we should. You do all have passports. That's what your character things are. So
I should make them at some
You should.
point.
That would be cool. We just have to fill like a bunch of blank pages too.
it'd be fun. So yeah, you don't really need more than that. It's not. The world governments post the apocalypse are not terribly tight.
The city. Oh, I didn't
On
even see
that.
the back of this.
Yeah, it's got a key. What do you think the numbers were?
I looked at this and then I moved it over for the second piece. I didn't even like flip it over. That's all.
Yeah, the other piece is the country, not the city. She wouldn't know. She wouldn't know.
Oh, I didn't know if they wanted to see him. I could show them
Secret
like the
knowledge.
map or not early.
You
Nah, they don't know.
You
the
got-
city.
yeah, there you go.
It's their brain knowledge.
yeah, that's your brain
Okay, I
knowledge
wonder-
for now.
that makes sense,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
You guys will see that whenever we get there, which may
Okay.
be today. Yeah, that's your character brain knowledge cheat sheet. So is there anything you wish
have
to?
such a hard time remembering names.
You don't
so-
have to remember. What do you mean?
Well, no, if I
Crabble
remember
bottom?
people. No, not this. I
Oh.
mean, like these people.
You don't have to remember them. That's what it's
But,
for.
yeah,
That's what the whole concept is.
I know.
That was why writing was invented.
Yeah. So we didn't have to
I
remember. We could refer to
Yeah.
it. Yep. I knew you wouldn't remember. Wait. You're welcome. So. Yeah, I'll remember. Or at least I'll remember 80% of it. That's all that matters. The 80% we need to play, and then if I fuck up any lore, someone can correct me, but no one gives a shit. So, is there anything you wish to prepare before you head out? And is there anything you wish to do otherwise upon approach? Is anyone sus of this guy? Is anyone trying to just want to eat him for mistress? Like,
No.
okay, so you all head to your respective locations and grab your shit.
Mm-hmm.
And as this is happening, Soren,
Uh-oh.
Your brain.
as you walk into the room that you call your home space here at the warehouse, since your visit to the psychic, you have been talking. And as you walk in, above the door in the corner, like if you were walking the door corner, the darkest corner of the room, since that moment you have felt that same long creature up in there, its mouth, and it goes,
Yes. For a little bit. Away. Is that not allowed?
you see it just in the shadow, like just enough to see. You're still not sure if it's real when you look at it. It shouldn't be able to fit in that space. It's almost like the corner of the room expands out so that it can peek through or something. And you find yourself reaching for the candlelight to look at its face. Do you want to?
Sure.
You do. And as you wave the candle in front of it, it is gone. It's just a corner of a room. And from under the bed you hear, "Return soon."
I hope so, yeah. I hope only a few days.
Gold. And the candle goes out. As that's happening,
I think I like life at the sanitarium better.
Isaac,
I kind of live with one all the time.
as that's happening, you start packing up your things, and in your head, you just keep thinking, we're going home. Going home. Going home. Are you going home? You know what you did there. I know. Do they? Nothing to say, Doctor. I'll be here when you need me. And you'll need me. Can't stay away much longer, Doc. And you feel your hand sort of like shaking a little bit as you feel it tapping on your pocket over the tin case that holds your syringes. You collect yourself and you begin to grab your things. And you all meet in the regular room in the warehouse, and you lock up and you head out, and we head toward the train station.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. And you do so. It's an easy walk. It takes about 10 minutes. Is there anything you want to talk about on the way? Or are you guys good?
I'm gonna talk to Mistress on the way.
Yeah, sure. Just in your head or out loud?
In my head.
Okay.
Mistress.
Yes, darling. Sorry.
We're going home soon.
Where's home? Home?
Where I come from. You'll get to see where I come from.
What should I expect?
Oh.
Shall I fast in preparation? A little tolerance break.
There are quite a few bad people there. But it's hard to get away with. We might be on Hydra meat for a bit.
Whatever you need, darling. You know what I require. You help me, I help you.
I'll keep an eye out.
I know you will. You're good to me. Speaking of which, and you hear as Mr. Buttons flaps his, and you hear him on your shoulder as he eats something.
Have we seen him with wings before, or is this the first time we're seeing this?
Maybe no, you guys.
No!
You guys haven't. She just got her letter from Rena.
Yeah.
And I can split him into 3.
Well, he's back now.
Yeah. But
That was hours ago.
The kid can fly now?
oh, yes.
You see it like slowly like into her form, and its head goes.
Good to know.
I can also make him into 3 of him.
All right.
It's on account of the bones.
The goo cat bones, you know?
He just needed the bones.
And so, you make your way through the streets of the warehouse district and down to the main Zephyr Line Street, where you see the station. The lights. There's not many people right now. The latest train is not particularly popular, as most people have commuted already. But some people commute daily to La Roque or to Ebon Falls, usually for cane work. But you do see, a few dozen people, some of which are working on loading up the different compartments on the train. You see probably 24 cars with a brilliant, smooth front, brassy and silver-colored engine. It is the Zephyr Line. It's on your money. If you have any cash left, it is actually. Is it this one or the other one? It is the other one. It's the 50. It's on the 50. It looks like that, with its gold. With its gold and its stuff. It looks just like that. Very beautiful cars. And as you approach, you do see under an overhang. It's just.
I haven't seen that before. That's all.
It keeps popping up.
Yeah.
Under an overhang where there's a bunch of benches in the middle, covered from the rain, is Rupert Crapplebottom. He is waiting, and near that is a ticket booth. And as he sees you approach, he takes a few steps into the freezing rain to greet you excitedly. And then, before you get to him, he starts walking over to the ticket booth. And as you approach, you can start hearing him ordering 5 first-class train tickets.
Fuck yeah.
Comfort.
So the train ride itself is a few hours. It is going to be roughly 4 hours. As you look at the different, it has the times and the schedule all up. This is the last train for the night, and someone comes through and flips it manually on this little card thing. That, if you ever seen them change scores at some analog baseball games, it's essentially the same thing. Or similar way they did it in The Long Way Down, although they had a chalkboard and not necessarily flipping, but similar situation. And you also see workers. Lots and lots of workers under a different overhang. You see a couple people that are dressed in some nicer clothes. So there's a smattering of people. Then you see some people that look like staff. If you pay attention at all to any of that, it's kind of like when you're at the airport and you see those are the captains, these are the stewardesses, and you can see all the people that play their different roles in the goings on here, and you can see all the things moving. You see the platform, although this isn't the same one. You see the platform across the way where you arrived at this place, and the crate got taken off. And Rupert turns to you and goes, "Well, let's get out of this rain. Come with me. We got first class, so we can board now. Do you have all of your luggage?"
Yes.
By the way, speaking of luggage, is anyone bringing any serious luggage stuff that you need to carry around? This is now the time, and I would say your inventory cards out of your storage, all of that counts. Your backpack is essentially your luggage. So,
Okay. These are.
if you
we have a
also
lot of,
if you do want a separate carrying luggage thing, you can just use this box right now as that, and you can carry some stuff in it. Just like any other luggage. So if you want any of that stuff, you're not going to have access to it after this point. So this is essentially what you guys packed. You guys are bringing.
You're good.
I have 2 blank.
I was just gonna buy
cards.
2 healer kits.
Okay. Yep. Sure.
No, I have 28 charges. There's
Sure.
a platinum.
Yep.
I have no idea what this is.
Do you need a card for that?
I have one already.
You have one.
I've just been writing my charges on it.
Well, yeah, but it takes up slots.
Yeah.
So yeah, just need
Okay, land beast.
one, or you need one more card just to take up a slot.
I
I think it's your blankies.
technically I have 2, so
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm only gonna bring a full one with me though. Maybe 2. I'll bring 2. Never know.
Where the heck are my tools?
Which tools?
Just like my normal artisan's tools.
You didn't sell them, did you?
No,
I know sometimes that you guys
Here, calligrapher's supplies.
Oh, is that other inventory?
Yeah. This is just calligraphy supplies and feather ceremonial dagger. This is like the warehouse.
Let me see.
Storage box.
Because I thought this was also the
That's
warehouse.
the land beast.
Oh, okay.
Black one's the land beast. You can put labels on that if you want, or however it works for you guys.
Yeah, I'm good like this.
Are the trains powered by like moonstone?
Do you want to go up and talk to somebody?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Okay. So you make your way to the front of the engine, and you see working class dudes that conduct this. The thing about the front engine though is there's no like steam escape. There's not a big like boop boop all the time. Although they do have things that tone noises. Just to warn people and shit.
Yeah.
But
An electric car.
yeah. How do you want to try to get this information? You just trying to look? You just trying to talk to somebody?
I'm just gonna look around and kind of like be near the guy and be like, yeah, just curious. I recently got an automobile and it's powered by moonstones. I was curious if this worked the same.
You look at him. He's in the middle of working. Go ahead and make me a persuasion check to see how it's going.
16.
16. Turns to you and he goes, and he's just a human man, maybe half elf, and you can't quite tell because of the hat. Turns to you, has a little bit of maybe in his 30s, a little dapple of hair on his chin. And he turns as he's like grabbing some box that you can't identify the contents of. It seems like like a silvery box. Turns and he's putting them on there, and he goes, "What?"
I was just curious.
And he stops working for a second. And
is the train powered by moonstones or whatever? Moon chips.
let's see if this guy knows. It is.
Oh, interesting. Thank you. Sorry, I know you're in the middle of something.
It's no problem. It's. I love trains. I'd love to talk to you about trains.
Oh no, he's a train guy!
And
Is
he
this
sort
Neil
of
Young?
says for what?
Is this Neil Young?
Oh, I thought you said, is this guy young?
Oh.
I don't know. And he will answer a couple questions. What do you want to know about trains?
Oh God!
Train.
Now you have to use all the questions too, because otherwise it was a waste.
It's not
So
like
like on the
speaking to
it's using like the rails. Is it directly contacting the rails, or is it like okay?
Yeah,
Cool.
it runs on the steel sort of wheels. It uses that. What they use for the propulsion is a similar thing to what they've been using in some of the newer automobiles with the moon ship thing. But what we're able to do is convert it into a way that makes it a little bit more efficient, so we get to use less right now. That's sort of the idea with the Zephyr line. Now, the 3-story Mythenales empirical brand of the Zephyr line has a little bit different of an engine, and he starts to go on. But you get the gist that the Empire or the Emperor has like a special train.
Like an Air Force One, but it's
Sort of. It's like a triple decker, and it's high up. It's got more power to it, and it's what he uses to travel to the realms and visit. Is there one other question? As he's got a little bit of time, you can see that like he's a little pressed for time, but he loves taking his time. He's sort of looking to make sure no one interrupts him rather than like catches you, if that makes sense. He's like, he looks at the time. He's like, I got 3 minutes.
So do you like a job here? Or like
I love my job here. I get to work on my, love your job. You never work a day in your life. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy the ride.
I'll throw him like.
And this is the safest train you can take.
I'm gonna throw him a gold for his time.
Thanks.
That might be weird, but
Let's.
Ink doesn't travel first class on trains ever and never has.
He does
so.
think it's a little weird, but he's like, I mean, fuck it, cool. I mean, he's like, I don't usually get tips to talk about trains. Usually they're like, can you shut up, Jared? Like,
I'm in fucking campaign 1 brand. You said the Emperor, and I like looked at you. Like, shut up, and I'm like, wait, nope.
No.
Different. Whoops.
Emperor Eberyn Asari. So,
Scrambled.
is there anything?
Mine too.
Is there anything else anybody wants to do as they approach the train?
No.
I'm okay.
Okay. So, you step into first class. And what you notice pretty quickly is that this is a spacious area. You kind of expected it to be a little bit packed. This is the passenger car portion of it. I think it's called steerage. I think that's actually for like really, really economy class. I can't quite remember, or extra parts or something. There's official train knowledge that you could have about this, but I don't have it.
That ruins the immersion for all of us. I
The
think.
fact that you didn't
Let me-
research how trains work
Take it
more
actually-
specifically before this.
You may be
Disappointed.
surprised.
It's about to pull out a whole fucking book.
Because we know all those train terms. And
Obviously,
you don't as
yeah.
fucking
It
That's
is
not
called
everyone else.
Steerage
Dr. Gamble said
is
explore all the dialogue trees.
explore the dialogue trees. Oh, back again to talk trains? I don't want to talk about this one. I want to talk about something else.
I'm gonna play
I actually
Fallout
do
New
have
Vegas
all the
recently.
things
It was
that-
really
on the train. So in first class, you see an open lounge with it's an open lounge at the left side towards the, or I guess the right side towards the front of the train. So there's a little bit of a lounge with like communal sort of seating. It's essentially like 4 booths that roughly align towards them, and then there's like little tables, place for you to sit. And then behind that are some sleeper carriages, and then there's another car that's exactly the same thing. 2 first-class cars. So there are sleepers if you want to. It's essentially just like a bunk bed that you, although in first class it's just like a first-class airplane. You have like this room that you can step into, and you have all your amenities around you, and you can just sleep. And it's private for one person. You can, as Dr. or Mr. Crabblebottom walks up, you see he doesn't have any luggage. He made this commute this morning, and he's making it again. And so he just gets up and he sits in one of those loungers, and he takes his hat off and he takes his coat off and he puts it on a hanger behind him, and he sits down. And he says to all of you, well, set your luggage wherever you like, because all of you brought just like stuff you can carry with you, right? No one has like a major box or anything. Okay. So that means that we don't have access to our boxes. I'll take them. That's it. It's all gone now.
I think this is empty, but you
Sure,
can have it
fine.
anyway.
Excellent. As
I brought my
long
forging
as-
supplies. We're good.
Huh?
I brought forging supplies. We're good.
Yeah.
Fork our way into a party. It's
I
fine.
have my calligraphy stuff.
Yeah. So
Easy.
you can set your stuff wherever you like. You can claim one
I
of the
have a
sleepers,
weaver's kit
you can just
somewhere.
keep
I
it
don't
on
know
you,
Where the card is.
wearing your backpacks on the train. But nonetheless, he essentially is saving a spot. So if you just want to drop your stuff off there. And then he says, you can sit with me, or you can peruse the train, but we'll be leaving shortly. And make sure you have your ticket on you. And has all the tickets. They'll be coming around to check, sort of thing. And then he sort of goes over. He's like, "Do you need me to give you a little bit of a? I ride this train pretty often, or do you just want to
Is there like a bar car or anything like that?
next car up?"
Oh, great.
So you move forward to the next car. Is everyone going to this
Yeah.
next car?
Yeah.
Sure, but I want to bring a
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, sure.
Does our buddy follow us, Mr. Crabblebottom?
He's just gonna sit there.
Okay.
He can follow you if you wish
Well,
him
I'll
to
ask
come with
him. I'll
you.
just be like, would you like anything?
Oh, they'll come around. First class always gets a little bit of a service. So.
Oh no, just wanted to make sure.
And so you move towards the dining car, which is the next one. You walk in, and the carpets in the first class area are blue. In the dining car, it is wooden floors. Very nice, and it immediately smells very good. You do notice, to get from this car to a next, you have to open a door, and then it is open, and there's like a bridge, and it has like little chains that guide it. But it's open to the air. You can get right on top of everything here, or get tossed out. And then you open the next one, and you move forward, and they just slide. The doors slide. Walk in. It is wooden floors, but essentially, it gives you the same vibe as like a bistro, just in a train car. Some irony looking in like filigree on the like walls that simulate sort of the backs of fancy chairs. Like the padding is all like single chairs, but it's styled like a booth on the sides. And there's several seatings, and then at the back of it, there's like I guess there's a counter, and I don't know, it flips up so you can walk through it if you're one of the people that work there. And behind that is a bartender with a limited but pretty well stocked bar. And he just stands there. He's currently getting ready to serve. You can see him like setting different drinks up on a cart to make his rounds through first class and back. And you can see other people as you walk in. Some of the other workers are walking through that space. Is anyone interested in what they're doing or what's happening there? You just want to chill? What do you got going on?
I was just gonna try to finish Soren's book on the trip, honestly.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that.
And this is what lurks in the mines?
Yes.
Okay. So you find, the sleepers give you most privacy if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Are you just looking to tune everybody else out and just do the book?
Yeah, let's do that.
Then you head to the sleeper after you see this, and it's a little commotion. You head back. You go in one of the sleepers and you shut the door. You can lock it from the inside, and you're at a window that you're just looking at. Do you want to be on the left side or the right side? Left side window, right side window.
Right side, I guess.
Right
I
side
don't know.
window. Okay, well that means you're looking south. You begin reading your book. The three of you sit at the bar.
Yeah.
And as you do, the bartender looks over to you and goes, not quite ready for service, but can I get you anything? Just so I can get you something real quick before I make my
Vodka.
rounds. That it?
Yeah.
Just a couple shots of whiskey, please.
Vodka works for me as well.
No cocktails, just neat spirits.
Nice and easy.
All right. That is easy. And he goes, boop, 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 boop. And he gets that, and he hands it out real quick as he nods to all of you, and you start to hear the beginnings of, like, the doors shutting and things buttoning down and less commotion outside. And that sort of, like, mini lurch before things start to really, I guess, begin. And so, your train journey begins.
Train sounds. I'm so immersed.
I know.
How smooth is it, like, when it's going?
It's pretty smooth. It's smoother than the land beast over rough terrain for sure. And go ahead and roll me just a d20 to see if you got this information.
16?
In the middle of the ramblings, you got the details about these long metal bars, stacks of them that are brand new for the suspension of the situation. They're called something, the name you've totally just deleted from your brain. But yeah, essentially this is for a smoother ride. This is real train technology that exists.
Oh man, this is a great episode for train lore.
Yeah.
Train
Someone's
lore.
loving this episode.
Train lore.
And it's me. I'm loving this episode.
So,
Has the rain stopped, or do we also hear that kind of melodically tapping on
The
the side of
rain?
the train?
sure, you
Yeah.
can start the foleying for that. You can begin that. And so, on the train, as it starts to pick up speed, you begin to head south, east out of the city, and then very quickly south. And train ride is pretty boring right now. That's about the climax of the beginning of a train ride. It starts. You're now on the train. You're sitting around and you got some drinks. You're reading a book. What do you do on the train? There are many cars to this train. I will say that last time you were on a train, there was a goo. And you were in a
Stood on top of a car.
you were in an opium haze.
Yeah.
So you didn't really experience it much. You've never been on a train.
Yeah,
This is your first time.
I'm gonna go to the different cars. and-
You're gonna go to all the different cars. Okay.
Amazing.
We'll see what happens. Do you want to try to go behind?
Oh no.
I mean, it's pretty clear there's an employees only section.
I'm not gonna go.
Back
I'm
here.
not gonna.
I'm just asking.
Can I like look through a window? Is there like a window I can look through though?
Well,
He's gonna get
as
in
trains
trouble.
are
Yeah.
straight, there's not really like windows to the front. You can, let's say, just sitting at the table as workers.
I meant like in
So
a door,
under the
or
door.
something to the area. I didn't know how it was situated.
As-
I know what trains look like.
As
I
the-
know trains go this way, not that way.
on a big enough curve, you might be able to.
God damn it.
As people go in and out of the door, however, there is no window. I will say you can try to peek.
Yeah.
Rolling perception.
I'm gonna do that.
They don't really seem
Yeah.
to be bothered at all by what your activities are right now.
11.
11. You peek, and yeah, the next car is definitely something in the way. Get out of there. The next car is definitely a kitchen. You can see people working in a kitchen. But you know, from being on the outside, based on where this is, you're in the fourth car. So there's a car before that, and then there's the engine. You roll me a history check. Let's just see if you were looking.
Oh no.
Just see if you're looking.
Oh no.
15.
You clocked it.
Oh.
I mean, there's certain urges you have
Oh no.
in your profession. You scanned. You clocked. You cased the joint a bit. Not intentionally, not for any purposes. Definitely the second car has thick locks on both doors. And thick iron doors. And no windows. It still has this fancy filigree on the outside. It's supposed to look like a normal car. It's not. Definitely it isn't. I'll say with a 15, you also notice that at the very back, this is the 9th car. There's only 10 on this one. I said there was dozens, but it wasn't all attached to the same one, I guess. This one is definitely with a 15. Yeah. I'll say you recognize a bank car when you see one. And then behind that was a company car which has security. So you imagine the company Kane Industries is watching this. But you know that there's also couple shipping cars before the bank car that are filled with various things, and then after that is steerage, which is economy. Then there's standard, a few cars of that, and then there's you. So I guess a little over a dozen cars, about 14 cars.
You eat people. Why are you looking at me? What are you doing? What is this judgment? You're not a Lenya.
Now you don't have to do anything.
I'm looking at you because you judge me.
And
You have
I
right.
think that larceny and cannibalism are two different levels of the iceberg, my friend. I'm just saying.
It's okay to murder the bad people and kill people, but eating them is too far.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Can I not draw that line? Is that not fair?
It's a weird line.
I don't think that's that weird line.
not
Also,
eating the corpses of
that-
the foes you slay.
By that wasn't.
Wasteful.
It's just
Yeah.
cleaning up the
It's
mess
not even
you
more
made.
bad.
You're mischaracterizing the entire argument. I've expressed I am okay with killing. I am not okay with killing people who are not directly in the way. Innocent people should be let be.
So make them in the way.
Wowzers.
I wasn't even going to say that.
Technically, Isabella's not here. I love the idea of you ranting to these two about it, though. I mean, you're not far. I'd you know. Oh no, you're in the other car. You're in the first class.
Yeah.
I'm just going to mentally note the fact that these trains,
Yeah. From
Is,
time to time.
is there anyone in like the dining car who looks like a rich dude or something?
Boy. Oh boy.
She's trying to find a sugar daddy. He's fine.
What is?
Smart play on.
I mean, there's at least one rich-looking boy in there.
I'm not rich.
In the dining
You
car
look it.
specifically?
That's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. The car that you are in is occupied by yourselves and two other people. It is two men in what seem like business suits that by the time you're finished with your drinks and your discussions, and you see them talking to one another in Ebb and Falls sort of accents. And they're talking to each other relatively loudly and picking their teeth. And they have like clean plates with like bones on there. Maybe they got chicken or something. And you hear them both like, "Ugh, basically only come here to eat nowadays. Spend all my damn time in Lorac. Got no damn good food over there." The other guy goes, "Yeah, it's bland as shit. Sucks. Well, company pays good." And that's kind of like what they're talking about.
Okay.
They both look well off. They're both wearing suits or business suits. They're
How long does
Are
this
there-
train ride last?
4 hours.
4 hours.
Can I try and get these guys drunk and pickpocket them? Like, I'll invest some money in
I
some
don't know.
drinks for them, maybe, and see how drunk I can get them.
Okay, so you go up to the bartender.
And what were those two drinking? I was hoping to get them something.
You want to buy them drinks?
Yes.
Okay. Looks over and they have like probably a third left each of like a long frothy beer. Goes, all right, and he starts to. It's free in first class, and he starts to take it over. And he walks over and he takes these down, and he says, "These drinks are from the lady," and they point over to you. Sitting next to your two friends, at which point one of them looks over to you, the one that's sort of facing in your direction, so they're facing across from each other, is looking over to you and goes, "Oh, thanks." And then the other one goes, "But is she cute? Can you give a good look?" You can sort of hear this. And there's sort of a look. And he goes like, I mean, yeah. Not my thing. He goes, yeah, I know. Turns. And one of them comes over.
Okay.
And he sits down.
I can't tell.
Or he doesn't sit down. He looks like he wants to sit down, but he comes over, he takes a drink of the beer, and he looks and he goes, "May I join you for some drinks?"
Of course. That sounds
Yeah,
great. The
that's
more the
totally fine with me.
merrier.
Comes and sits down. Goes, "Oh, well, thanks. So, what do you do?"
Oh boy.
I regret this decision.
What do
knew that
you
was
two
gonna
want to do while this happens?
Oh, yeah.
Are you staying?
Would you like another drink, Soren?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
You're getting up?
We're both gonna get up
You're
and
both gonna get up
I'm
and
gonna,
sit at the bar.
Can I send her the like telepathic equivalent of a what the fuck shrug?
Yeah.
Can I return the message?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give him an
That's
intense
one
look,
way.
like, trust me, I'm doing something.
Roll insight check.
Inside.
6. So the two of you go up to the bar for a second, and then you are embroiled in a conversation about this man complaining about his work, but doing it in a humble, braggy way for
Okay.
about the next half hour.
I'm gonna act like this is the most enthralling story. I'm gonna touch his arm.
Roll me a
I'm
persuasion
gonna-
check with advantage.
23.
On charisma saves today, Ink catfishes a guy.
Oh,
Or honeypots?
it's catfish.
Catfishing.
It's catfish.
Catfish.
Yeah.
which really is just fishing, I think, for them, right?
Yeah, true.
That's right. Okay, so this is happening right now. Does anybody else have anything going on besides this saga?
I'm just watching,
Sure. You're just reading?
taking this all in.
A half hour goes by or so, and you're a couple drinks in. Are you drinking at his pace?
I'm gonna
'Cause
try and
you're-
make it look like I am, but I'm gonna try and stay behind him, like bringing it up and maybe not
He's not
actually.
paying attention that much.
Okay.
Go ahead and just make me a Constitution saving throw with advantage, and then he'll make a Constitution saving throw with regular.
Double now one.
Damn, he's a drinker.
12.
Okay, you're fine.
Yeah.
Conversations continues, and then his friend comes over and says, "Hey, Garrett, I'm gonna grab some winks." And he goes, "Okay, yeah." And he sort of blows his friend off, and the friend walks past, and into the first class, a person walks in, and you hear. And this is the first time you've been torn away from your book from a sound as the outdoor door is open and you hear like the and so you're jarred out. And there's a moment that goes by and you can hear Mr. Crabblebottom talking to somebody. Like he was already in mid-conversation when the door opened, and then that stops happening. A dude walks past, and then you hear the door jiggle where you're sitting. There's like a...
Oh.
Hey. Oh, sorry! And then moves on to a next one. Slides it open. And then you hear someone sit down in the seat of the room next to you. You want to go back to your book?
I want to eavesdrop if I can.
Okay. It's disadvantage with the door shut. Or you can just make a normal one with the door open. Or you can do something else.
Well,
If you're just using your ears, you're just using your
I'll
hearing.
open the door and listen.
Okay, so you pop the door. Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Pretty sure it's...
Darwin.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, don't step on that power cord.
Oh.
He's
Yeah,
like,
come under there, bro.
7.
Back it up. Back it up.
It's bad.
7.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't hear it. You just hear Mr. Crabblebottom's voice and a feminine voice. Someone must have walked on after you came through the car after you walked in.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah, I'll go back to my book.
Okay. You go back to your book. Some more conversation happens, and he starts to get to the point where he's getting a little awkward. He doesn't know how to close. He doesn't understand. God damn it. Okay. Let's roll for microaggression. Okay, he says something cringe like I've never been with a tabaxi before. Yeah. So that's what's happening right now. That's the conversation.
Just try not to. And just.
Swallow it.
You hold it together.
Go right through it. Yep.
You hold it together.
Do it for the sweetness.
Sweet.
Okay, so essentially, about an hour into this, you kind of have this guy where you want him. He is a pliable, what's the play?
How drunk does he look drunk?
He looks buzzed. He's not like sloppy. He rolled a 19. Gotta go to those scammer YouTube videos back in the day.
Is he wearing like a jacket or coat or anything? Or
Yeah, it looks like a business coat
Okay.
situation. He probably hung his coat up somewhere else.
Have I noticed in watching him at all, this is some dumb bullshit. I don't even know if this is true, but I found when I was wearing men's clothes, that if I had a jacket on and I had like a wallet in a breast pocket, I would sometimes kind of, did I notice him do anything of the sort?
Or like pay for anything?
Like he
Like the wallet
no,
check?
It's free. He
Oh,
checks
shit, it's free.
pocket butt.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll me a investigation check. Yeah. It's a long term.
17.
Oh, good. Yeah. He has a few
Christ.
valuables on his person that you can just see. The first thing you notice is in his nostrils, they're starting to turn gray. Moonshots. So he's got somewhere on his person drugs.
Okay.
You don't know how many, but he's got them somewhere. He has a tan line where his wedding band used to be. He does have on his right hand, on his right thumb, essentially like a Kane Industries like signet ring. That is probably like some sort of corporate gift over time. He has a watch that has a chain similar to Mr. Crabblebottom's, though probably not as old. And you would assume he's sort of tilted a little bit. Maybe he has a wallet in his right butt. You want some water? If you want to use your water.
I was gonna ask, but
You
I
said
didn't
you
want
just
to.
went,
Well, no, I didn't want to interrupt you in the
Well.
middle.
Now we know.
I
Don't
figured
we?
it was okay.
It was fine. There's the.
It's very slowly reached.
I feel.
Okay.
There's definitely some ghost behavior.
It felt a little. Yeah. So he does have some valuables on his person. You don't notice any luggage, but you don't know if he has some in another.
Can I try and get him to take another shot or something, or do another?
He'll
drink?
definitely do another
Okay,
shot.
yes,
He's in.
Yes.
There's another one. And go ahead. You taking one too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Was
Just a
it-
Constitution. Not with advantage this time. You're taking a regular one.
11.
11's just enough. That's the DC for your second round. He, on the other hand, is you get a little bit. Maybe I should lay down or something. You want to come lay down? He just falls out of his mouth.
Okay. That sounds good. Could I get a couple more of these to go? I'll see if I can get some shots.
Are you gonna rob him or kill him?
He, with enthusiasm, he gets up and goes, "I'll get some drinks," and he goes and grabs some drinks. And he starts grabbing, and he goes like, we just want to sleep. And he sort of walks through, and he grabs a drink, and he has been drinking this like, I'm trying to think. He's been drinking a like a reddish drink that he's got you one of, and it's essentially a vodka cranberry with like an orange slice in it. And he's drinking it, and you go to the next car. So he guides you to the first class car behind that. You two are left in the dining car without that happening. Now the only two people along with the bartender in there. You walk past, and as you walk in, Mr. Crabblebottom is having a happy discussion with another person on the car across from him. Oh, don't die.
Yeah, he does
across from him, and it is a woman in a blue like tulle dress. It's like out here, and it's all. She has like a cigarette on a long thing, and she's got like a little thing that's sort of like a veil. She's in her like maybe 50s, but she's looking good. She has a corset on that gives her extra boobage, and she has like many rings and many bangles on. And she is nursing what seems to be the entire bottle of wine that's on there by herself in the glass, and you can see that the glass is currently filled way higher than normal people fill their wine glass. She's got a vibe. You walk past them, and Mr. Crabblebottom looks at you for a second and goes, is everything all right up there with your accommodations?
Everything is great.
Excellent. And then as you walk by, you get that scent of clove cigarette. Just have fun, you too, as you walk past. And he starts wrestling with the last door in this car on the left.
Okay.
Is this car fine?
Yeah.
As he goes over to it, he starts to, and the door slides, and it's just a small room, and then to the left is like a sleeper, and it has like enough to stand up. It's like an airplane bathroom with like a bed.
Yeah.
Do you shuffle in there? He's in there, and he sort of turns, and you're outside of it in the hall.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna be like, yeah, to the drinks and try and get
Okay,
him.
so you're like this close to this guy, and at this point you can smell the alcohol sweat. You can smell like the like
This is a nightmare
aftershave.
scenario.
We just watched Last Night in Soho.
This is the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is scarier than any horror situation.
Yeah.
You see the window. You can see. You're going through like a tree area right now, maybe a
Tree
forest.
area.
Or maybe there's just trees along the thing. You can't tell. Yeah, an area with trees. You can't tell if the trees just border this or if it's thicker because it's too dark.
Yeah.
And as he closes the door, he turns it to occupied. And he looks at you, and he sort of sits down on the thing, and he sort of like taps the seat.
I'm going to. Does he have like bottles of alcohol or just what does he have that he brought?
No, he has a drink.
Okay.
He has essentially like a glass, and you have a glass.
Yeah.
And he's sipping it away.
I'm gonna try and signal him to finish his drink by doing mine and hope that this knocks him out basically.
Oh, knocks him out? Okay. He is drunk, so his DC is now 15. You are not drunk, but you're getting there. You need to roll
Okay.
just a Constitution save.
Yep.
Oops, that fell.
Oh, that's not good.
What'd you get?
6.
6. Okay, so you're starting to be a little sloppy too.
Yeah.
But he was really sloppy. He was like, look, I just got divorced. And it's been a long time since I've been with anybody else. and like, you know, you're so pretty.
God.
He's just pathetic.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be like, it is okay. Just lay down for a second while I,
And he goes, okay. He just sort of lays down.
I'm just gonna give it a second and hope he fucking just falls
He
asleep.
doesn't.
Doesn't?
He's too excited.
Oh, fuck. I underestimated how horny he was. Shit. The classic blunder.
The classic blunder.
Do I have any more alcohol on my person? Was that did we drink the only drinks?
Yeah.
Fuck. This was
Playing
such
with fire.
How drunk is he?
Oh, he's good. He's toasty. You're gonna be like, I'll be right back.
It's a sigh of
Ghost him.
At this point, I feel like I played my hand. What else is there to do?
I don't know. You could kill him.
I don't want a murder train.
What do you want to do?
Do you need me to eat a man?
That would be fucking funny.
Egg knocks on the fucking sleeper door she's in.
I wasn't able to pull it off. I gotta know when to fold them. I can't. I don't want to risk. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna lay down with this dude. So. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, my name's Gary.
Oh, what a awful name.
What's
Okay.
your name?
I'm going to. Actually, Gary, you.
Your name's Gary too.
Yes.
That's such a pretty name.
Thank you, Gary. So you're divorced. That sucks,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it does suck.
I feel like maybe just like sleep this off, and you'll I think feel better tomorrow. And
What do you mean?
I just think that things are moving pretty fast, and
Like the train?
the train, yes, is moving.
It is, and he looks out the window. It's going pretty fast.
Is his jacket? Is he still wearing his jacket?
No, he took it off.
Where is it?
It's there's like a hanger next to the door.
While he's
Sleight of
looking out
hand
the
me.
window.
You're just gonna peruse the pockets.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's see if
do
we
you
get
want to go for the easy pockets or the inside pockets?
inside pocket?
DC's higher.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it. Ooh, that's good. 22.
Oh yeah. Okay, so while he's talking and looking out the window a little bit, you grab something
Mhm.
and you just pocket it. It feels like hard and metallic.
Yeah.
Uh,
Out of all
That's
those hard
one.
things in this room, that's the only
that's
one.
one.
God damn it.
Is
Okay.
there's other pockets. Do you want to make another?
Yes.
Okay.
He's very
so
drunk. It's fine.
There's yeah. Go ahead and make
20?
20. Yeah. Okay. So you. Yeah. You find. No. Where is it? You find another thing. I'll find it.
Okay.
I'll find it. Go ahead. With a 20, you have one more pocket to check if you'd like.
Yes.
Just the
Nat
jacket.
one.
I have DM inspiration if I wanna.
Double nat one.
That's bad. I'm gonna use the DM inspiration. Oh, that's so much better. 24.
A long, thin metallic object.
Okay. You want me to throw this in here? Or you want
Yeah. Okay. So, you're there. You can't quite check what you stole yet, as you just pocket it. what do you want to do? As he stares out the window, longing after the touch of anyone.
Okay. I'm gonna say, Gary, I think if you just work on yourself and learn to love yourself, Gary, I think you'll have a better chance of finding someone who will love you for the Gary that you are.
You?
No, Gary, not me.
Why?
I have a lot of things on my plate right now, and it's not you as much as it is I have a lot going on,
You do?
Yes. I'm very busy.
Fuck, it's all the way up there. Sarah, will you grab me that box? That's what she found.
It's not
That's
you,
where
it's
it
me. Good.
Just that box right there. Yep, perfect. Thank you. Okay. So you find it's smaller in game. But,
Oh no.
oh yeah. But you find a tin set of cards. This man is an avid 3-dragon anti-player.
Okay.
You don't have to keep that. That's just
Okay.
what the contents are minus the chips
Okay.
that are in there. So there are cards as you sort of walk away and shut the door, and he doesn't really have the energy. You also find the long, thin, metallic thing. If you want to cut out one of those daggers. It is a dagger, but it has the hidden property. It's a switchblade for personal protection.
Oh, nice.
And so it is a hideable dagger, essentially.
Cool.
Scissors?
It's like my cane, right? It has like the same.
It's like your cane,
conceal
yeah.
property.
Scissors?
So if you attack with it,
If you attack with it,
Oh, they fell
if
on
you
the
make your
floor.
first attack with it and it wasn't out, you do so with advantage as a hidden attack, essentially.
which is real good for you.
Yeah, that's good. And then the last thing is his. It is absolutely a small billfold. Hold on. Do we have just the 50s? Yes. Yes. I forgot that I didn't harvest these last time. He has. It's a thin clip that you discard that holds his bills. But he had 100 gold worth of bills in 50s. And those are the things that you stole from Gary the divorcee.
I'm gonna hope that it was his fault. Thank you.
Wait, you steal it from him or the
Yeah, I
divorce?
can take those.
The
I can take
divorce.
the Andy back if you want.
Kind of is his fault.
We can play 3-dragon ante at any time.
Yeah.
Is it just poker?
It's 3-dragon ante.
It has a like a whole number system,
Oh.
but it's cool. Anyway, I've had this for a while because I got it on sale on Amazon once. But you do find it if you want a new gaming set. Well, that's the saga of Ink and Gary. As that is happening, the two of you are having drinks. Is there anything you want to do?
It's probably about to head back. It's been a bit.
Okay, so you head back into the first class car, and when you get through there, you essentially see Mr. Crabblebottom talking to this woman in the blue dress, very loud. And at the end of the hall, you see Ink back out and shut a door and just sort of walk forward and like start to go through some shit. What do you do?
Shake my head a little bit and just go and find a seat somewhere and look out the window for a bit and do some preparing
Okay.
to go home.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna stay in the bar.
Okay.
And if there's just like a booth seat that I can take up, probably just sit there and like stare out the window for a bit, kind of watch the tree line and look for anything moving that
It's
shouldn't be.
fucking dark as shit. both you looking out the window. Things nearby you have lots. Anytime there's not something pretty close, maybe 10 feet off the train, it's really hard to see with all the rain and the just the lack of light right now. 'Cause it's
Animals on
nighttime.
the track. Sorry, I gotta get them off.
Yeah, there is the ambient light from the windows
Animals.
lights the way a little bit, and there are running lights along the top that you've seen before that give it some semblance of a silhouette in the darkness, but not a ton to see. So your thoughts turn inward very quickly as you zone out. Your time on the train can come to an end whenever you'd like. If there's nothing else you'd like to explore on the train right now, your time goes by, you read your book, you look out the window, you get your stolen goods, and
They were non-consensually donated. They're fine.
and as
I feel like that sounds worse.
That's fine.
as that happens, we start to feel a change in the train. We feel ourselves increasing in steepness. And pretty soon, as you look out, the ground is nowhere to be seen. For those of you on the left-hand side of the train, you notice water in the air. A river in the air that you go along with, and you two know that this is the major arterial aqueduct of Laroc, and it is used. They use the same infrastructure to have the train go along the side of it. So you begin to ascend as the hilly areas of Laroc sort of give way, and eventually you find yourselves on plain for maybe 5-10 minutes before starting your descent into the city. It is at this point it gets much brighter out the window. What you see is familiar to the two of you, and probably to your relative dismay. But to the two of you, you see a beacon of industry and ingenuity. A city with a with a center. You don't give them the top. You guys wouldn't know any of the stuff on the back, but you can look at it. In the center of this city, as you approach from the west along that aqueduct, you see large, brassy tubes and buildings with rounded tops, and its steam is going everywhere. You see the implements of industry all over the place. You see the lights, bright yellow lights, lighting this array. You see other trains circling the industrial area, and you see vast communities around this. It's essentially if robber barons and Willy Wonka smashed into each other. It's a wild array of I guess just brass, and it's tall. It looks like a fake, like a science fiction book, like the idea you would have in your head when you read one of these stories. But the city of Laroc is a fledgling city of industry. It has been built in the last 30 years, and it is absolutely as shining and as brilliant as they say, maybe even more so in person. As you descend down, you can see to the left and north of you out the windows, you can see a vibrant and loud, like entertainment district, you assume, with the lights in the sky and the, but it's only like a strip. The rest of the city, as you look around, is relatively quiet. You see residential, you see different community homes, but all the way across, especially as you start to head down into the industrial area and you start to spin around and rotate through, you start to get a view of the city from all directions as you come to the train station that is near the Grand Avenue, which is number 9 on your sheet there. As the train station comes down, it goes around the industrial area and loops through in a figure 8. You do see several massive displays of wealth in the form of mansions. But one stands out among all of them at location 2 on your map, if you want to share it with class. A grand estate that looks like a incredible mausoleum. It is undoubtedly, you two know, the home of Atticus Kane. As the train spins and comes to a slowing speed, you can see other people starting to get up. You can hear Mr. Cravelbottom sort of finishing his conversation. You can hear the tones of that conversation coming down, and people starting to grab their things. So as you see that, you grab your coats or whatever, your luggage or whatever, and the train comes to a stop in the Grand Avenue. And you have a moment. Come by, they check for your tickets to make sure you're supposed to be here. And as they pass through, at the end of the cart, they start knocking on the door of the person that's in the back left. Sleeper in first class. They're like, "Sir? Sir? Just need to check your tickets. We're at our destination." And, which is a sign for all of you to get going, probably. And as you do, you step out into the city of La Roque. And in La Roque, in the Grand Avenue, this is what you know to be essentially the place that most visitors know La Roque for. It is a tourist area. The Grand Avenue offers shopping and entertainment. Some people spend time here. You hear not from the train, but further back behind that, steam whistles going off in the industrial area in Kane Industrial. To your left and right are people walking around. You see many of them that look very similar to the way that the twins dress. Very Victorian with steampunk elements. But what you definitely notice is that many people here have moon markings. Some people have them on the bridge of their noses. Some people have them on their ears or their chin or their lips, hands. Some people have arrays of wealth all over them. It is a place of the upper class. And for right now, you guys tend to fit in, although you two obviously stick out to everybody. And you can see people look at both of you. And look at whoever else isn't really from here, whoever comes off the train. You can see some working class people that commute here for probably a night on the town. Just got paid coming in. And you see a lot of them get out and they start going to party. And so you're seeing people from other walks of life along La Roque. You two know nobody that is from outside La Roque lives here. It's not a thing. And you start to get your first taste of it as you see company men. Company men are who you would understand to be law enforcement / authority in general. Company men are the security force of Larock. It's not for the whole country. It is just because Kane Industries provides that for the space. So the streets are very clean. You don't see the signs of poverty that you all see in Ebon Falls. You don't see like street food. You don't see and interestingly, why doesn't everyone make me just a perception check? See what you notice about the city as you walk through.
20?
19.
That is so fucking fitting.
14.
1. Okay.
2, actually.
19. Okay, so you're not really looking around at this shit. Fascinatingly, you haven't been here a lot. Have you ever been here?
No.
You see Isabella act in what way as she looks around?
Lost.
Overwhelmed a little bit, eyes
Yeah.
open, looking around.
Yeah.
You do see on the buildings around here, all of which have this. They're not all like shiny and metallic, but they're all like tan, trending towards bronze and gold. They have bronze elements on them. There's shine a lot of places. Things are polished well. The lights here burn really clean. There's something really clean about the light that isn't the same in that misty, hazy light that Ebon Falls has. Larock itself seems to have all the amenities of a modern city. You don't notice that this is designed necessarily for automobiles, though you do see thinner versions of Kane trucks that you see in Ebon Falls. You do see that they have certain avenues that they do travel on. Not every road is for that. So they have like essentially industry lines, which you guys would sort of know about. Having been part of the city, you'd know less. And then there's like walking space, and you can walk across those and whatever, and they'll wait for you. But it's not mixed like American road systems or anyone's road systems. Really, it's very specialized. I'll say. What else? Said that. As you pass by, you see it's a little bit of a quiet city as you start to walk with Mr. Crowellbottom as he goes, we'll just take you this way. And he starts to walk north, south, and away from this sort of like hub of talking, I guess, and commotion. You see quiet couples, which is pretty normal, like sort of walking. And you see it's starting to, you notice it's not really raining here. It's more of a light snow flurry at this point. You can see it probably snowed a little bit earlier in the day before you got here. And there's like light snow, especially outside of that district where there's a lot of commotion. Where there's less foot traffic, you can see this like really light amount of snow. So you can see like little footprints that sort of travel along the sidewalks and down to residential areas. And as you sort of move a little bit out of that space, there's a couple walking towards your group, like in the opposite direction, that look at you and says to Mr. Crowellbottom, "Sir, my lady, my lord."
Hello?
And then just keeps walking through.
Welcome to Larock.
Sorry.
Can you roll a perception check for... No, you roll a perception check. I just want to see if you notice something.
Probably not. Yeah, that's a 6.
Okay, you don't. Okay. And so you make your way to Mr. Crabblebottom's home. Unless you'd like to do anything other than follow him.
I'm good.
I have no idea where we're going, so
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
gonna follow.
He just follows. He walks in a way that seems like he walks it every day. And he starts to talk to you. Well, thank you so much for coming with me to my home. I didn't know if you were going to show up, so please apologize the mess if there's any. And he starts to walk up to essentially what would be like a brownstone in Ebon Falls, but it's these tan buildings with brass fixtures. And it looks like he's downsized probably. A man with his wealth you didn't expect to have like a townhouse like this. But he walks up and he sort of fumbles with some keys, and then he hits a door and opens it and ushers you all in as he clicks a light. And as he clicks a light, it's a little sconce on the next to the door, and it lights up. And then he starts walking around the room and lighting up other sconces. All of them burn like this beautiful, like nice white light, just like outside. And as you step in, he lives alone. He has some books stacked. It's a living room, sort of bachelor-y area. You can see in the back there's like a kitchen. To the left there's more of like probably what would be the dining room. And in this area is like the front, sort of like people come into my house and we have a fireplace and we have some couches. And he's been clearly using this as like his room for a little bit. Maybe not like a bedroom, but... and then in the back, there's stairs that seem to go up to the next level. A nice-sized place, and you think it's very nice. As he walks in, he goes, can I get anyone anything? Just move anything you need to move, and sit where you like. There's plenty of seating for everyone. You can hang your coats, and he starts talking about all the things that you can do, and he can prepare. You start to tune him out as you take stock of the room. Is there anything you want to do?
Take off my coat and find a nice little...
Yeah, I'll
just
hang
hang it
our
up.
coats and
Hang
then,
your coats up.
Find a seat.
Find a seat. Sort of have to move some books over, and there's some like a napkin with like a half-eaten like coffee
Put
cake
my
and an
little-
old cold tea, and you sort of
my
scoots
little
that.
luggage case down somewhere out of the way and
Yeah.
then sit down.
Sit down. You can smell that sort of like dusty books and leather smell, and probably on occasion he smokes tobacco in here or something. Out of a pipe or something. Like it doesn't smell like someone who smokes all the time. And he comes back through as you hear the whistle of the tea kettle. And a couple minutes go by and he walks back in. He has tea on like a little silver tray, and he walks out and he sort of grabs some other stuff and sets it down awkwardly and picks it up and takes it to the kitchen. Help yourselves! And then you all grab your tea or whatever. He sits down in a chair that's clearly the chair he sits in all the time. It's like a lounger. And he sits down, and then next to that he has this little nightstand, a little lamp, and he clicks it on, and it burns differently. It's like a gassy lamp, like an older one. And he looks to you all, and he goes, well, so... I suppose... You'll be wanting to see the ring. Is there anything else?
Where are our sleeping accommodations?
Yes. Well, I can get you sleeping accommodations at the Raven's Respite. Pub with some apartment rentals above, or you can stay here. It would be 2 rooms that you have to stay in, but you're more than welcome to stay here if you like. It's only for the evening. For tomorrow, we will get a cart, and you will be able to have your journey to the estate. Unless you'd like to leave tonight, but I don't suggest wandering the roads at night.
Do you have those letters here?
I'll have to gather
Yeah,
them
no,
for you
take your
after
time,
that.
but I'd like to look at them when you get a chance.
Yes. Well, he sort of goes to his nightstand and he moves the drawer, and then he sort of looks at all of you, and then you can tell that he's not super excited to reveal this, but he's going to give it to you anyway. So he pops like a little board with a false top on it, and he sort of slides in, and he pulls a little, you hear like a heavy sort of thing fall into his hand, and then he slides it shut, and then he locks it with a key that's on his band, and he puts it away. And he has like a little ring box, and he takes the ring box and he opens it up, and he just takes out a simple silver band, and he hands it to any of you that want to hold it.
I'll take it.
And it just is a silver silver band. Think like the one ring of power, but silver. Nothing really to it. What do you want to do?
Can I intuit if there's any magic on the ring? Does it feel like it's...
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
9.
9?
Yeah.
No inherent. It's not very strong. It doesn't seem. It's not like, anything overwhelmingly magical, but it certainly feels, although simple, well made, sturdy, and it has a weight you didn't quite expect. There's like a satisfying weight to it. You can pass it around. You can do something else with it.
I'll pass it around. Actually.
Okay. So you all sort of have a look at the ring.
And then, while it's being passed around, I'll just telepathically to Isaac. Is magic acceptable here, or would it be...
Magic is fine in Larock. It's not...
Okay.
It's not as outlawed. It's,
Okay.
It's more culturally just not a thing as much. You guys have your own understanding of that. I guess however you want to explain it.
I feel like
People-
it would be okay to a point.
People just don't have a faith in magic whatsoever. It's like why would we use that?
Why would we use that when we can do this? Kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So you can use it, but it's just not we just don't.
Okay.
Or if you do, it's in small
Yeah.
amounts. It's
Right. It's
assisting
for
things.
it's necessities. That if we need
Yeah, or
Yeah.
quality of life improvement stuff. It's not something. Usually, ingenuity, science is what pushes forward.
They're mostly trying to do everything to replace magic.
Yeah.
While magic is dying, they
Right.
don't believe they can rely on it.
Yeah.
Society's built on the idea that magic failed them. So,
Okay. When it comes back to me, then I'll start casting Identify on it.
you take some time to cast Identify, and during that 10-minute period, what do you do? Any more questions you want to ask Mr. Crabblebottom?
Did you ever have any bad gut feelings about Mr. Carmine? Lord Carmine, I guess.
Well, as any father would have with their child being
Understandable.
married off to someone.
But outside of that bounds.
He honestly is a quality man. Very amicable. I'm a little old for him, but should I have been a younger man, I think we may have done a little bit of carousing now and then. He certainly, like I said, likes his little get-togethers. He has a beautiful manner, so I'm not surprised he likes to entertain guests. It's just a bit out of the way, so it's not regular, but it's enough to where he keeps appearances and does his politicking.
These get-togethers, who was normally invited? Just
Anyone and everyone. People of relative renown. I'd say, I don't know if famous is the right word, but how would you? It's like trying to describe something about our culture to outsiders. We have
Not really fame.
It's not fame. It's
Experience?
strong lines,
Strong lines.
but not necessarily in the biological sense, more in the... For instance, Minister Rydiger, the Minister of Order, the person who leads our country. And you can see he's starting to get a little excited. And you do see on the wall, above where he's sitting, is a plaque that does say that he says Professor Rupert Crabblebottom, Professor of the Histories. And it says some specializations or something that you don't really, I mean, it's sort of like small print, you have to get up to it. But he starts to get a little excited, and he starts talking about the Minister of Order. He starts talking about Eleazar Rydiger. The Minister of Order is maybe one of our most famous families. Leader since the moon crash, several famous speeches to rally support and lead the country through the hard times post moon crash, and since this country has not been, though we have our excesses and everything, it was not perfect in any way, and we try and we do for the country what we must, and we give where we can, and everyone has what they need to succeed here, and well, anyway, many famous families come. The Kane family, obviously, you've heard of, being from Evan Falls. You must have. It works like this. So, if you are a person of a name of some repute, often you can get in the door, or you can find a way in as someone else, or you could simply ask. He seems to be quite, again, like I said, quite amicable, and maybe it would be something. But again, I don't want you to impose too much on their lives. I'm not looking for thugs. I could have gone anywhere for something like that. I'm not looking for any kind of violence or anything like that. I simply want you to check on my daughter. And just make sure that she's okay. But and he sort of feels like he's been talking for a while.
Well, I guess we'll set up rooms here.
All right, it will only be for the night.
It's not a problem.
This is when your identification goes off. It is a ring of protection, +1 AC, +1 to every saving throw. Normally a rare item, I believe. It'd be considered very rare in this world.
I'll I guess just hand the ring back to him.
He takes it and puts it back in the thing, closes it, and just sets it on the nightstand. Doesn't bother hiding it. I hope it's up to your desires.
I think that would do for us.
I wish I could have more, but it's one of the only things I can think that would have much value for you. And
Sure.
I don't think... I know it's technically... Is illegal the right word for what happens in Ebon Falls and in the Asari domain with magic? Because I see people use it. It's just interesting how you balance such a thing. Seems a little chaotic, but...
I assure you, we have ways of dealing with the ring if it gets to that point where we take it back.
No, I don't want sports updates. I want to loop this.
But they suspended Kyrie Irving 5
Okay.
games.
Wow, what a price to pay.
Without pay.
Wow. And so he talks to you for a moment. Is there anything else I can do for you, or answer, or...
No, I just think we need the room for some rest and preparation for tomorrow.
All right. Well, it is up the stairs. Either of the rooms on the end are fine. The other one's my room. And there's also a restroom right over there. And he points across the way and down a bit.
Nod and take my luggage upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Take it upstairs. And Mr. Rupert Crabblebottom sits down in his seat and sips some tea and starts reading a book.
I just kind of realized that I never made Soren nice clothing, and Ink has a nice dress, but... So, I'm taking one of Isaac's set of clothes,
Mm-hmm. And
I'm tailoring it for Soren.
for Soren's
Do you not
tallness.
consider this a nice going out?
No,
Yeah,
poncho?
I'm
Soren is
confused.
shorter,
Soren's shorter?
Yeah.
so all I'd have to do is
Wow.
him and take it in.
I'm the
So
There you
tallest.
go. There you go.
Just like in real life.
True.
Just like in real
So
life,
you're
that's
gonna
right.
be in all black and gray.
Plus poncho.
You don't get to. No, you can't wear the poncho.
I'm absolutely
I
wearing a poncho.
recommend
It's a
not
good
wearing the
look
poncho.
I'm not wearing the poncho over a suit. It's not happening.
I-
fucking refuse.
it's not
I
even
can't
like-
fucking look at it.
It's a fashion faux pas.
Fucking look at it.
I love the idea of Isaac being like, if you're gonna do suits, you do it.
Don't mess with the suits. The one thing you don't touch.
Okay, that's a thing now.
Deal.
Love it. Okay, so you have privacy to yourself. There's a whole house here.
Keep the suits down.
Which room
Otherwise
do
he goes on a
you
rampage.
choose to stay in? There's a room to the right, and there's a room to the left. You can stay in either. You can stay all in the same one.
Left.
Okay, so the two of you go to the left, and as you walk in, it is what seems to be pretty obviously the room of a teenage girl that hasn't been touched in some time. It has, a queen-size bed and sort of a Princess Vale thing. But otherwise, it is a very organized space. There's a small vanity to the right. There's like a closet to the left. It's not a huge room. It's got a window out to the road. There's a small music box on the vanity, a small hutch for some different things and blankets. Some places of seating. You see one stuffed animal that is like a little bear. And that's it. That is what's in this room.
Okay.
And I guess for the sake of it, in the other room, seems to be... It's got a bed, and there are rugs on the wall, and carpet, unlike the other rooms, and blankets, and a bear rug on the floor, and books stacked onto the wall, and like an old bookshelf that is like the shelves are bowing from the weight of all the different books on there, and you sort of peruse into like old books with. You showed me the book the other day. They're like rebinded and like it's like they're like discarded from
Falling
libraries.
apart.
It just looks like this guy collected books. There's old like newspapers around from Rock. He even has some old Evan Falls ones. This seems like storage / maybe this was his like man cave for a minute, like in like 20 years ago or something. But right now it's just used for like storage, and maybe he slept here. It's very quiet and shielded off from like noise. It's a very, very, very cozy space. Although it's like with the aesthetics of an attic.
Yeah.
A cozy attic. And so those are the two rooms.
I'm gonna kind of dust some things off
Okay.
around the room.
Spend some time dusting. Easy enough. You sit around for a while. Is there any discussion on who gets the ring yet, or are we waiting? We know what it
I'm gonna
does.
have to spend time tailoring with you, so
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
pass on this one.
Yeah.
It's you two.
I'd be happy to take it, but There are 3 other people here.
He whispers to the crowd.
Well, I already said I would
He was
pass
like,
on it.
no, he's like, I'll take it. And then nobody talked. And he sort of did this thing, like maybe I won't.
I don't even know if I have any spare.
What do you
don't
you
actually
change the rat ring, the
have
weird bracelet.
any sort
Whip
of
up, I
magic
think. Was that
items.
Oh,
attunement?
Yeah, I don't either. Well, I've got
The
my
bracelet
beads,
actually I don't think was attunement.
but-
Yeah, you might be right.
But I
The only
had
thing I
3.
have is the
Oh, 'cause I had the
fireball, the
earworm.
one.
You still have the earworm?
Yeah?
I forgot about the
I
For,
forgot
uh,
too.
You're
We
usually
haven't come up
fighting
with, we
closer to
haven't
enemies, so
seen
I
people
suppose
I
if you
can't talk to in a bit.
would rather have
Makes
that
it
protection. That's
It wouldn't hurt,
makes sense. Yeah.
but you do get hit a lot.
I'm trying to be better about that.
You are the backline meat shield.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Plus, if I hit you with my whip or shoot you with my gun, then
Just
maybe
stop
you'll
It'll be a
that.
little harder.
Stop doing that.
Just stop.
But what? It'll be double good if I stop doing it, and also you're protected if it happens.
You can't.
It
double-
is like
you
if
can't
we were
double
sick and
zero.
I wore a mask and you wore a mask. It's like really good.
It's not good that you don't hit me. That's just the baseline. That's
Clearly
right.
not, because here we are. I am hitting you with it. This is the baseline. We are in reality, not hypothetical land where I don't hit you with a whip.
I'll just take the ring to settle this.
And just don't hit me anymore.
I'm not doing it intentionally. I would charge for that, I assure you.
I can believe that once, but
Jesus.
eventually it's a pattern, not a coincidence.
Stop getting in the way of my whip.
Check your surroundings, okay? I don't have to check mine.
So, you sleep,
Yes.
you work. You can hem out his stuff and
Best
Yeah.
part
give him
about rooming with someone who doesn't sleep.
Yep.
You get
you
the
get
whole
the
bed.
bed.
You do get a full rest. So you guys can roll your hit dice,
Hey.
which is 2 of them right now. Your proficiency is still 2.
For one more level.
For 1 more level. Level 5, you get 3, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I could find
2?
that page.
I rolled a 5 and a 1.
Oh, okay.
5 and a 3.
One of these days I'll roll above the average.
Will you?
No.
Ooh. 12.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
You awake in the morning to Mr. Crabblebottom. Mostly the sound of the tea kettle going in the morning for a little too long as you hear him sort of walk over to it, grab it, and then pour himself some. And then as you sort of file down in the morning, he said, "Oh, good morning, good morning. Well, I did find some of those letters if you could go through.
Absolutely.
I have them," and he sort of hands you a handful of letters. And you can make an investigation check as you go through them. Anybody else need anything in the morning, or are you just going to hang out and wait for...
Can
card.
I help Isaac with that?
You don't need to.
Okay.
24.
You're up. Go ahead.
I'm making sure that everybody looks their like Sunday best today.
Deeply uncomfortable in a suit.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah. He still has boots, sort of, right? Yeah, he still has like those boots that go past the ankle, right?
Yeah, he has like his old
So-
combat boots, unless
They're not-
you had extra shoes too.
Yeah, you don't. You
no,
don't
I don't
have
have
Cut
extra
'em
shoes,
off.
so
At the ankles.
So well, if you put them under, it's not that noticeable.
yeah.
What are you doing with ink?
I made her a dress.
Oh, just the dress? Oh, damn, you're going with dress. Okay. Yeah, you have that. Now, for us, your leather jacket is your armor. Are you wearing your leather jacket, or are you just taking it with you? Like a dress isn't your armor.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not gonna have my armor.
Okay.
Oh shit, I guess I'm on armor too.
Fuck.
Do you have armor?
I had some leather armor that we got on our first delve that I was just using.
Oh yeah, okay.
Thought you were just throwing the poncho over.
Yeah, it was just like pieces of leather armor underneath it.
So, you're going through the letters. How do you want like a chronological sort of situation, or
Chronological, and then I want to compare the last two.
Okay. So chronologically, he doesn't. He has a little trepidation. You can tell he didn't give you every letter because they get personal, and when you read them, they have a sweet relationship. It is one where she calls him father, and he calls her little bear, and or little Belinda, or just Lindy sometimes. There's all sorts of different ones. They have a cute relationship. She seemed excited to go to Lord Carmine's, and this takes you, a little bit of time as you guys work through your morning and you get them all dressed, and as you sit over tea and sort of sip and look through.
And then obviously I'm catching them up as I.
Yeah. There is a little bit of a gap in they corresponded like relatively weekly. And then it started to slow down like every 2 weeks to a month. It just seemed like she got a little bit busy with life. Their letters got longer to compensate a little bit because there's more detail.
Makes sense.
Nothing really out of order. She seems to be a good example of a wife in the Havian Vales. She tends to the home. She has a person from the Ministry of Family, similar to how Isabella had growing up. Not really a nanny, but kind of a family guide to teach womanly duties to the women of the country, and to deal with the different aspects of navigating marriages, homemaking, and of course, population. So they have some discussions about that, and he does the parent thing of like, oh, are you just gonna make me a granddad, like stuff like that. And she says, well, I don't know, maybe. She calls him Titian, Titian, his first name, instead of Lord Carmine, of course.
So it's Titian, right?
Titian.
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 Okay.
Titian Carmine.
Titian. Got it.
But everyone calls him Lord
Like
Carmine.
the ending of Beautician. Got it.
Sure, however it helps.
Mortician.
Or Mortician, yeah. Hi, buddy! Goodness! You guys made me spell his name and I lost my place. Okay, so talks about some like make me a granddad. Buddy, you can't stand there. You can't do that. You are going to turn off all the fucking power to this whole business, and it's all gonna come crumbling. There's like we should. He doesn't usually walk into there. We have a power cable that's a one button on it, and if he touches it, it's fucked.
I'm pretty sure that's just for the table's power, so it's not running anything.
It'll
on
ruin the
screen.
sound. It'll turn off some lights. I
We
think.
lose some battery on our
Yeah.
devices.
Well, maybe it'll be fine. Anyway,
It's still riff in the dark.
so she says the reason for the maybe is because Titian has gotten new work. He has been asked by the Ministry of Flesh, his employer, his one of the ministries that runs the country, and that deals in medicine and stuff like that, because he is a kineticist. He is a toxicologist. It's his purview. Doesn't seem weird. He has some new work that's been taking up a lot of time. He's been doing tests. And this seems to be about 4 months ago, maybe 5. There's not like dates on the letters, but you get the vibe of like, it seems about right around the time you guys arrived in Ebon Falls, maybe a little bit after or a little bit before. You can't quite tell. There's some work that's being done. It's just taking up some time. And she mentions that like the only time we really get to spend decent amounts of time together are on the occasions that we're supposed to have like a get together and we cancel it or something. But everything seems happy, and then another month goes by, and there's another letter, and again she seems happy and fine. You got a 24. What are you looking for specifically in this from like a...
I think I would be looking for, because I assume they write kind of the same every time. It's very pattern-like.
You do see a hurried approach to...
As I get towards the end,
but
I would be looking for slight deviations.
Not like frantic, just
Or like
the letters get a little bit shorter and it's like...
Or like words that like she hasn't said before that like kind of are weird.
Okay, yeah. She mentions the process.
Sus.
I mean, that is... I would write this down. She mentions the process in passing twice. And both times it is in reference to Lord Carmine's work. He is trying to essentially understand something that he calls the process. And then the second time she mentions it, it's essentially in the same thing, but she has established already that the process is like a concept. And in the second letter, near the end, almost one of the last letters, it's essentially he's making headway on understanding this process that he talks about. But she mentions that, like, I'm not quite sure of what his work is, but it seems to have people from all over the country, involved from time to time. And so there have been, she said that there's been, like, decent amounts of people coming by the house, and it's been a little bit more exciting than lately. And that's the last letter.
That was 2 months ago?
Yeah, about 2 months ago is when she stops writing.
A month and a half after the Kane heist, roughly. We were gone
yeah,
for
it doesn't
3
seem to be
months,
lined up
so-
on the Kane heist
Yeah.
timeline, but yeah, I mean during that time.
Okay.
She doesn't make reference to any crime or anything. She
Yeah,
doesn't-
no, it was more or less along the lines of
just seeing when
he was
when
working
stuff
on
lines up.
something, researching, thinking maybe he was doing stuff.
Yeah, maybe. He seems it doesn't seem connected to Perfectus.
Okay. Process.
Trust
Trust it. Just trust it.
So
Is
that's
this
what you.
stuff that you're sharing with us, or you just...
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm
Yeah,
sharing
yeah.
this whole thing with everybody.
Well, it was mentioned in the letters. Can I ask, or are we trying to...
We can ask.
Okay. Rupert, this process, did she ever discuss with you what this was any more specifically?
No, I had assumed it had something to do with his work in either, I don't know, one of his specialties, kineticism, toxicology. I don't know. The Ministry of Flesh, as you would know, and you would know, operate in more of the medical sciences, and that's not really my purview. I was a historian.
Sorry, this word, the kinetistry?
You know,
Kineticist? I don't
Kineticist?
fucking know it off the top of my head.
you can go ahead and look in your mad scientist.
Oh, fuck! Okay, that's what...
Now, he's not necessarily the class mad scientist, but
Yeah,
it's
okay,
a
okay.
similar vocation. That's why I added
I
it.
wanted to make sure it was like that before I was like, oh. Basically, If it was the class, it would be like strong, like strength, and like I would gain proficiency in strength saving throws.
It's a
and-
person that focuses on movement of the body and perfection of the physical form. And
Like sports science? I mean, I think,
sort of.
like-
In the way it's treated here, it's less for the pursuit of sport and more for the pursuit of the perfection of the human form and understanding the human form and its incapabilities. Is not far off. I mean, any of the pursuits of the Ministry of Flesh are going to be overcoming the downfalls of having a corporeal form.
Okay.
And so this seems pretty normal stuff for the. Like, honestly, it's a little sus only that it's like a keyword, but like, this is how they talk. You're not super surprised to see something like this in reference to his work. It doesn't red flag, but it's a yellow one. It's like, okay, it's something I can. It's a lead.
Yeah. How are your guys' party skills?
I'm guessing your parties are a little different than mine.
That's why I'm if it's an
Yeah.
estate with a
They're
lord,
like political galas. Like,
they're a bit more official, yeah.
yeah. It'll have like staff.
Okay.
I'm
We
very
should
good at
probably
blending
walk
in.
through all of this.
Okay.
So, like, does the butler tap the keg, or how does this work?
Keg.
Don't
Who deals
typically
the
don't
first
use
hand?
kegs. No one? Really? Usually?
So at these gatherings, you go to someone's home and you have a nice dinner, a chat, and then maybe some time in a lounge in front of the fire.
What do you talk about?
Whatever.
Oh, at one of these parties, it can get pretty lively. Political musings? Maybe a joke you've heard on your travels?
Who's marrying who?
Oh, that's a big one. There's lots of things that happen at a party here in the Vales.
And I have
It's
to
a quite lively event. I'm
Yes.
sure you will get quite the thrills.
You have to look your absolute best at all times.
Did you bring any of the stuff I gave you?
No.
Now, I will say, because he's a little bit younger than myself, Lord Carmine is, let me say, less traditional, but it's still quite the affair, so I'm told. You read through some of the letters about like the parties. Doesn't seem to get wild, and maybe she wouldn't share any wild stuff with her dad anyway. But like, it's always like important people. Your father wasn't invited at any point, but no Baineses. Were you gonna say something?
Mm-mm.
You just have to look
Like you belong.
popular. Like you are supposed to be there. That's all.
But it's fine, I can do that.
Yeah, I'm very good at not drawing attention.
Well, it's not about that.
Ah,
You will draw attention
you'll both draw attention, of course.
immediately.
It's
the
how you
second
handle
walk
the
in.
attention.
Mm-hmm. So be ready.
Assuming you can get into such a thing,
Yeah.
I guess I don't.
Do you know when the next get-together is that they will be throwing?
No.
Okay.
Again, the Lord's Manor is, it has a community about it. It's not an official town or hamlet or anything, but it is his property, and there's people around. So people come through. Sometimes he allows people to hunt the lands. So it wouldn't be strange to get a visitor, especially because people seek him out. So I wouldn't send you in that direction if I thought there was going to be some sort of hoopla about your arrival or anything. I simply wish that you don't mention me or your intentions, because she seems to have some sort of
Well, unless
negative reaction to me being involved. So it's simply for reconnaissance. And if you can get a nice party out of the entire ordeal and enjoy yourselves, well, by all means. Your methods are your own. I obviously simply wish that you leave their house and everything in order as you've seen it. And
If everything goes to plan, they should know who you are at all.
that's perfect. If you do see Belinda, just maybe ask about home and see what she says. Just to see if you can get an idea of what she is feeling. Nothing too obvious, of course. And he sort of gets like a little awkward.
Sure.
So you have the letters. Is there anything else you want to ask him about stuff before he arranges essentially your carriage all the way there?
I think I'm okay. I can't think of any other questions we haven't asked. We've asked a lot.
Yeah. And so, if everything seems satisfactory, I can make sure that you're there by midday.
Sounds like a plan.
Sure.
All right. And he gets up and he goes over to the kitchen. And he grabs something and he comes back out. And it is a walking cane that he wasn't using before. And he starts to use it to get around. And he says, "Oh, I was walking yesterday."
Agreed.
And he grabs his coat and he says, "Make yourselves at home. I'll be right back. And if you also wish, down on the corner is a nice little shop that you can, little cafe that you can spend some time at if you don't wish to stay in my stuffy little home." He sort of opens the door and offers you out or in.
I might go for a walk.
Sure.
Good night.
Okay. He ushers you all out as he locks up the door behind him, and he heads down in the direction towards the cafe. And it's just this little fenced-in area next to a townhouse cafe, and you can see Laroc citizens sitting there, and they're what you said, they're Sunday best. Everyone's always dressed really nice. They sip tea politely and read newspapers and talk to one another very politely. And you sort of walk around and sit down, and he nods to you and then heads off. And he says, I will return with your travel. He walks away. You spend a little bit of time hanging out. You have a lone moment here before he comes back if you want to use it. Otherwise, he's going to show up. Doesn't take long. Maybe 40 minutes. Get a nice tea out of the way. He comes back and he insists on paying, and you make sure to pay your tab. And you see a cart with 2 horses and a driver. It is just a passenger cart. And he comes up. It's like a purpley looking cart. Comes up and he, Mr. Crabblebottom says, well, it looks like your transportation is all set. Is there anything else you need from me before you head? He knows the direction. It should be fine. And then the guy looks back and he goes, that's right, it'll be fine. You're with me.
All right. Think I'm all set then. How about you?
All right, name's Auntie.
Nice to meet you.
Not Andy. Auntie. With a T.
Auntie.
No, that's your
doing the best I
mom's
can, okay?
sister.
Auntie.
Getting closer. I see you. Anyway, we'll have a good ride, won't we? That's right, Mr. Crabblebottom. We'll get these folks up, and then I'll stay. According to our deal, Mr. Crabblebottom, I'm to stay until you come back. So I'll be staying in the, I guess we call it the village, while you're at the manor, and then I'll just hang out there. There's a couple places. I've got some people there. And you just take your time, do your business. I don't want to know nothing. I was told this is a little bit of what's the word, Mr. Crabblebottom? He says, I think it would be, just
Reconnaissance? Stakeout?
Sensitive?
Sensitive is fine. Well, Auntie, just a familial thing. It's no big deal. Please, enjoy your ride. I'll be here when you get back. And if you need anything, you can write. Should take about a day to get to me. Someone's dog? Stray dog? The Rock, of all places.
Not letting dogs.
Not for long.
Get out of here, you mutt! And so Auntie looks at all of you and goes, well, mates, ready for you go ride. It's gonna take a bit. Did you bring any pads for your butts? And he drops down. He pats the horses, and he opens the door for you. And it's just a 2 or a 4-seater. So you'd be staring at each other on your ride.
Sounds good.
Okay. Hey, you get out. Or get in, rather. And there's a little slide. If you got to talk to the driver, it's sort of like, you can see it's under his, like, feet. Like, behind his calves, where he sits. And the... No. No. That's the, yeah, I clicked the button. That's okay. Hey, buddy, can you just...
Train in the middle of the city.
Can you just, my dude?
Buddy.
How'd that feel? How'd that feel, bud? Not your concussion.
Oh.
And you begin your carriage journey
Told me.
from the interior of Larock, east and then north, towards Lord Carmine's place. It is a slow enough journey, but the 2 horses and the cart itself make it for a pretty nice little ride. It's not a particularly eventful experience. You do hear Auntie like whistle songs to himself during the ride. He doesn't try to talk to you mostly. He's pretty much down to his business. You see he's got like a handlebar mustache. He's sort of a heavy-set dude. He's got his riding gloves. He's got a big leather coat. He's got a bowler cap on the front. And once he's clear of the city, you smell the distinct smell of halfling root. So is there anything you guys want to do on the carriage?
So what is our reason for going to the estate if we can't be honest about it?
To at least find out if she is okay. We just need to make visual contact and hopefully talk
Yeah,
to
so
What
her.
if
we need a
there is
reason to
no
get in.
sight of her?
Well, of course, we will go to the little community on the land and find out if there's a party, and hopefully there is, and we can find an excuse to go.
Right, but why would they allow us in?
Well, he's a fancy doctor.
Oh, yes, but my
Doctor?
family was never invited, so it holds no weight for me.
Perhaps just
First time for everything.
I'm not invited, though.
No,
I
okay.
could make one, but I don't know what the invites look like.
Your family name carries a
Some
little
weight.
weight. You don't, I mean...
Because I've never tried.
We have come into some money, so I wouldn't be surprised if we could just try to get on the list.
Maybe, but
Ooh, a little bribery.
with robbery. Name doesn't hurt. It's probably the easiest thing to do.
But we have to carry those with us
Guests.
as well.
Plus
Or
ones.
Should make
Workers.
us sound like a burden.
yes, I don't know. Do I look that bad in a dress?
You have
I'm not. I
You
didn't
can
threaten
be-
to wear a poncho. He
plus
is.
ones or
Not-
workers. Your choice.
I will go with +1.
All right, you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's plus ones or who?
We're just guests. Our guests from Ebon Falls and wherever the fuck.
What's
he's
your
from.
cover, guys? You can just be that.
I can.
You can be anomalous. You can be as honest as you want.
I have a forgery kit, so it's not hard for me.
I mean, we could say We're part of an adventuring group.
It's true. I've went on delves before.
I mean, I don't know how popular my books were here, but I mean, my name has some small degree of celebrity left on it.
True, true.
I don't know what to do.
Well, we can always see what we find in the village and figure out what our options are from there.
Alright.
Are we trying to interview other people that might be related?
Well, just get the lay of the land, really,
Yeah.
and see what's kind of...
Do some eavesdropping.
And should anyone ask why we're there? Just to...
Is it a
Party?
crime to visit?
Should it be? Not that I know of. Just the
Shouldn't
state
need to
itself.
visit.
Like the house itself, I assume, needs permission.
Yeah,
But if it's like a small community, we should be alright.
I would assume so.
Unless we have to get let in, then it becomes more of an
Mhm.
issue. But if could bring our names up and might be fine.
Hopefully.
You know, as long as it doesn't get around. 'Cause that could be fun.
Is there a reason we should be worried about that?
Don't think so, but pretty mad if we didn't say hi, probably. And we were here and then left and they found out about it.
I don't know how everyone else feels about them considering what happened.
I don't know.
I guess we'll have to see.
Guess we'll find out.
Okay. So, your carriage
Did we
ride
ruin our family's name?
continues.
The stress.
Completely fucking
I have no
crushed
idea
it.
what our status is.
Well, you can go home first.
No.
Yeah.
You carry on your carriage ride for several hours, having discussions about what to do, having a lot of long silences to ponder, and eventually you start seeing, instead of these long, sort of peaceful country roads, the first thing you notice is like a sort of a step up, this like boop, boop, and then the road becomes cobbled. And when you look out the window, both sides, there's a fence that runs at the edge of the cobble, in either direction. Just a small white fence, almost to keep like cattle in, but you don't see any like cows. And there's these long pastures, and if you like look up and around, you can start seeing like little houses sort of dappling the countryside, little side roads that go off that aren't cobbled. You can see definitely some like wheat fields and other things that would allow you to self-sustain out here. You see a mill. It starts to get a little bit more, and then eventually you come to what is essentially a single road village. And you see as Auntie sort of starts to slow down, he knocks on the door just to let you guys know he's about to slide it, and then he slides it open by lifting under, and he just yells down into there like this. He goes, "Oi! We're going to be coming up on the village here. Going to be pulling around at a carriage house. If you like, you can spend some time in the Underhill Tavern getting your bones a little warmer. And, well, that's where I'll be staying during your time here." And you look out, and you do see this little village. You see a tavern, probably the Underhill Tavern. Around it, on the other side, you see a large. It looks like you drive through it, and horses can go in, and then there's like a parking area for carriages, and that's what happens as you go under it. There's like a wooden, it's not really an archway. It's like a square, and you see people just walking through. Like this is super normal. The whole place here isn't like muddy like you'd expect. It is, again, like cobbled and well taken care of. And the people here, as you sort of hop out, and Auntie takes care of that and sort of like waves you off so that you don't have to deal with it. He says, okay, have a good day. I'll see you around. He nods to you. You get out, and looking around, it is a quaint place. You see sort of these dark wooden homes. You see, they have like the sort of wooden shingles on the top. Some of them are in disrepair. You see someone up on a roof like fixing one. You hear the ding, ding, ding of a hammer. You can see people that have like, all manner of small jobs, haberdashery. There's a shoe place. There's a hat place. There's like a single tailor. Most people here work to have food for everybody and sustain, and then work on the land. You see it's well manicured. And then behind all of that, rising up on a hill around, and then you see like there's like a forest that sort of blocks it a little bit, but as it comes around, and the forest is right here, you can see it peeking above the forest around the winded trail. Looks like the top of a castle. You can see a single tower that comes up, and you can see like the stone walls and what are those called? I forget what they're called. Parapets. You can see the trappings of a castle. Yeah.
What's a parapet? I don't know what it is.
It's like the little, isn't it
like the rounded corner?
Yeah.
Where they like pseudo watchtower kind of.
Yeah. And then there's also like the little arrow slits, and then
Okay,
they have like the that's like a block here, and you can step in between it like Helm's Deep. Yeah. But you can't see like the front of it. But there's beautiful grass that goes all the way up to it. It looks like a nice enough place, and you stand in front of the Underhill Tavern as someone sort of moves by and says, "Oh, excuse me," and just walks on past you and sort of opens the saloon-style doors, and you see inside a well-lit space, the walls of which have all manner of taxidermied animals. You see deer and fowl and fish and wolves and a couple like an owl bear. You see a couple of the normal D&D beasts around, and most people are just sitting in there. There's not that many at this time, although you are closer to lunch, and you can smell as soon as you walk in the smell of like roasting meats. And inside is a nice older gentleman, a little heavy set, a red mustache, and sort of like small spectacles that sit on the end of his nose. And he says, "Oh, hello, travellers! What can I do for you today? Welcome to Underhill Tavern. I'm Mr. Underhill.
Thank you.
We live under the hill."
Good morning.
Fair enough.
We might need to acquire some rooms or...
Lodging, absolutely. We can get you some lodging, no problem. We don't do it right now. You can do it. Are you here to visit the Lord?
Yes.
Oh, well, then you may not need rooms or accommodations. Oftentimes there are spaces within the house to stay. I can tell it's your first time. I haven't seen you around here before. But in the meantime, well, we've got some lunch, just roasting up some rabbit. We also have different libations if you like. All here for you. Oh, you can just warm yourself next to the fire. He sort of points over, and there's a fire in the middle of the room. And it's just warm.
What's the restroom?
Well, out back, around the way. You're going to have to go up to the manor.
I'm just gonna go have a seat by the fire. And I'm also making sure while we're here Isabella's in her most conservative dress and also has gloves on the entire time.
Yeah.
Everything's covered.
Sure. No one seems to pay any mind. You
No
look
dull
like a normal,
parts showing.
normal person. There's a few eyes that look at you guys, but they don't make a big fuss. There's people come here, so. So you have a moment in the Underhill Tavern, if you'd like to do anything.
I'm gonna get some of the rabbit that he was.
Okay, yeah, it's like a rabbit stew. It's a braised sort of rabbit thing, so the meat comes off, and there's like carrots and potatoes and stuff in it. It's delicious. I wonder if you'd even notice.
Hmm.
You wouldn't. Yeah, so you're eating rabbit stew.
What'd you get for not having a nose?
It wouldn't be a thing. While that's happening...
I'm just frustrated.
Were there testicles in this rabbit
That's
stew?
right, there were. More testicle stew. As you sit here and wait for Isaac to get back to the restroom, is there anything you guys want to do in the Underhill Tavern?
I might just try to eavesdrop and pick up on like the subjects of conversation in here and see if there's anything potentially useful.
Okay, so go ahead and make a perception roll.
It's a 16, but I'll use my talisman to make it a 17.
Okay. You do hear some conversations. The conversation you hear right now is when someone gets some of the rabbit stew. To dude that comes in, looks like he might be he had an axe with him, and he sort of sets it down with a thump. Maybe he was doing some lumbering or something, cutting wood in some way. And when he comes in, he goes, "Oh, it smells good in here, Mr. Underhill." And he goes, "Yep, got some rabbits today." He goes, "Oh, what a lucky day. I'm so done with this blandness." And he comes up, and he walks over. He gets his bowl, and he smells it. "Oh, Mr. Underhill, you legend." And he goes and sits down next to his axe. And then he starts eating the rabbit stew. You start, he starts having a conversation with another person just sitting next to him, some regular that he seems familiar with. And he just looks over and goes like, "Hey, nice to have this, huh?" And, older guy, sort of bearded, looks almost like a sailor, but there's nowhere to sail around here, so you don't know what he did. But he has that sort of like, Willem Dafoe in The Lighthouse.
Oh, God.
But with the big beard, and he's like scraggly. And he's probably, he seems a little early for him to be drunk, but he is. He's got a red nose. And weathered hands. And Isaac walks into the room. And as that's happening, they start having a conversation. "Yeah, won't eat any of that fucking moon food they've been sending our way." "Yeah, but you know how it's been. The Minister of Soil told us it would have to take a little bit of time to get back to normal. Yeah, but I'm fucking tired of it. Okay, Mr. Underhill, seriously. Made my whole day this." Mr. Underhill goes, "Aye, lad, no problem." They have a discussion for a little bit, and that's really it.
Isabella, what's moon food?
Do I know it?
Do I know?
Never heard of it.
You do. I mean, you've heard of moon food, but you don't know what it is.
Oh.
You've heard the term.
Oh.
You don't eat. You haven't eaten. And you certainly don't remember eating. Like, you remember, like, the physical aspect, not like... You remember tea.
Yeah.
You remember... What's that? Moon food. It's a derogatory term for imported food from the Asari domain. In the country of the Havian Vales has agricultural problems from time to the time, and part of the dealings with, like, part of the reason that Kane introduces stuff to Ebon Falls is sort of a good faith exchange so that they maintain trade routes to get food into the Vales. And they call it moon food if you roll a history check. Not for your intelligent die, though. Just
Yeah.
This would be just passive knowledge.
3.
3?
Oh.
Plus 7.
You don't know exact... Plus 7? 10? You have a 10?
3 on the dice plus I have 8, so 11.
11.
Well, that's way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would
Why
you
would
say
you
Well,
that?
you
You
said
said-
say 3 to me.
You
Why would you say
you,
three?
you
I
said,
said not
without
your-
your intelligence, so I
Not your
figured.
intelligence die, your die.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because it wouldn't be something that you could put
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah, yeah. Makes sense.
brain juice in. It'd be something you experience. Can you just relax?
Stampede.
No. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was like, fine, no play. It's called moon food because much of the food in the Vales, especially in the wintertime, is imported from the Asari domain, and it's produced en masse by Methanolese mooncasters, essentially using create food and water. Food made with moon chips, though, does not expire in the way that spell normally does. So they're able to use it, but it has very low levels of taste. And while it's cheap for Mythenolos to send food in that way because of their excess of moon chips, it's not cheap for Laroc to make it. But they do have industry in the rails, and so there's sort of this symbiotic exchange going on so that both countries can thrive even under, because there's still problems with a lot of the eastern part of the Havian Vales got pummeled by the moon crash. The core of the country was relatively safe, but the eastern part was like the breadbasket, so it's been trying to move forward over time and gain traction, but that has always been a struggle. Food scarcity is a problem in the Havian Vales, but one that they don't telegraph to other countries.
So it's bland, but does it have like full nutritional?
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume they're like MREs or like astronaut food style, kind of like.
Yeah, but it's just magic food,
Yeah.
so it'll look like bread or
But it just
whatever,
isn't good.
but it's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not very. So you get bored of it really
Maybe
fast.
like replicator food in Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's how they describe it.
It's bare nutrition, and because it's made magically, there's not like the processes of cooking to draw flavor out of things isn't happening. It is simply
It's just
existing.
there.
Now, I'm sure there are magics that could, prestidigitation and stuff. They don't send it that way. So there's ways to make it taste like stuff, and there's ways to add flavor to stuff, but it's topical. It's not throughout like a good cooked stew is, like this simple thing. So that's what that's.
Gotcha.
Are there what's the limits on making taste change for prestidigitation?
I don't think there
What's the limit?
is a
Yeah.
taste change.
It just
I
says
thought
you
there was a
flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for 1
I would
hour.
say it is flavored, but not necessarily seasoned.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Like if someone was really mean and eating, like, could you go up and make their food taste like just ass?
Could
Yeah.
I
And,
make
like,
your food taste like
What if
poopy?
they like ass?
I mean, you probably.
I
could,
mean, good for them, I guess.
You probably could change the flavor of someone's
Okay,
food. Yeah,
yeah.
it would take a second, but yeah.
Okay. Put that in the brain file for roleplay someday in the
There
future.
we go. And so you sit here and eat rabbit stew for a moment. You're free to do whatever you'd like. What would you like to do?
I was thinking about our entrance plan still.
Seems like people must visit the Lord relatively often based on the fact that the innkeeper mentioned it.
It really doesn't seem that uncommon.
Right, but does he know they were coming? Doesn't know we're coming.
No, but we could come up with perhaps some story. I don't know. We are. I mean, we could veer it along the truth. Even like we are adventurers, business partners, whatever. We're trying to get out for a small diversion to the countryside.
We could say it's us trying to not say make a name, but to make connections in the city.
Sure.
Since we just opened our business.
Just
Yes,
offer-
cultivate relationships.
Offer
I
him
like
our
that.
services,
Sure.
and then
That's not a bad idea, and we might be able to get another job out of it.
and also getting the information we need if we can get inside.
That's true.
You know,
Seems like
we've completed delves. We won the
Yeah.
Kraken games. And
Sure.
Soon we know what the Kraken Fest is here, right? In the Rock.
People would know-ish.
Yeah,
It's not like a big cultural
Yeah.
thing in the Rock, of course, but
but they know delving, I
it'd
assume.
be like knowing SeaWorld.
Okay. How familiar is delving here?
Oh, they would know in Larock. I mean, that's one of the things that you researched
Yeah.
and why you chose Ebon Falls. Like, there is an understanding that in Ebon Falls, unsavory people go there to find dangerous work. It is part of the reason you chose that is because it not only is it easy to get lost in Ebon Falls and not have people like your
Sure.
dad try to hunt you down, but like someone from Larock would consider such a thing not like below them or low class, but it's like how do I even describe that? It's like tell your grandma you're gay. It's like it's like maybe she'll be okay with it. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's fine, whatever. Maybe she's cool with it. Maybe she's like a little weird about it. Like it sort of just
Yeah.
depends.
Have
Some
you
people
tried not being a delver?
right.
That kind of shit.
Is
Okay.
this just a
I feel like it'd be
phase?
more like you're telling your conservative parents you're moving to New York
or
City.
something like that? Yeah, it's
Mm.
well with the
Like
well delving the
fundamentalists.
concept of delving specifically is what I was talking
But
about. not
yeah,
Elvin
but
Falls,
also
yes.
like getting into something that
It'd be saying I'm going to New York City and then I'm gonna go be a dancer at a gay bar,
Yeah.
like, or I'm on Broadway, or and they're like really homophobic,
really,
like.
and then they're
So,
just like
but this is like sort of classism. It's more like culturalism, but whatever that is, there's sort of a stigma behind it for some people. And some people are like, I mean, especially in Larock with young people, and it's like flappery, and there's this group of people that aren't jaded by the horrors of the apocalypse, that you know are sort of open to this kind of thing, and probably why you guys are. Like it just
Makes sense.
makes sense. So,
we're a progressive generation.
yeah, so progressive. So progressive. I would eat anybody of any color with my goo monster. And so, you sit at the Underhill Tavern beneath the manor of Lord Carmine and his wife Belinda. So, is there anything you'd like to do in the village? There's other places around here. There's other stuff you can do. Or you can start to head up towards that.
I think we just go straight for
Yeah.
business.
I think we
right?
just right down
Straight
to
for the business.
Is there?
Because if we look like we're poking around,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as you do, Auntie gets in, and he takes his hat off, and he looks, and you're all getting up all at the same time right after he just finished that, and he goes, "Oh, do you need to ride up to the manor?"
sure.
If you want to, you can walk. If not,
Okay, I'll get everything ready. And he turns back around. Turns back around, and he walks back out to the carriage.
Offer.
Yeah, no, I did. And he gets it ready. It doesn't take long. It was he essentially stops them from taking the horses off the cart. Like one's already off. He's like, I'll put it back on. And he eventually comes back around and goes, all right. And he sort of looks down as you hear the clops as he pulls around in that direction so that you guys can get in. And he helps you in, milady. And then, all right, ready, milady? My lord?
thank
Sir?
I At least you got
sir.
a little.
You got,
Yeah.
you got
Rather than
acknowledgement.
nothing.
No, you at least got acknowledged, so that's a W.
And so, up the hill, you trek. And as you approach, and the noonday sun is up overhead. Like I said, it's relatively early in the day, about lunchtime. You get to the point where you start to pull around the curve, and the forest that's there moves away, and you start to be able to see more of it. It's a massive castle on a hill. Gray flagstones. You do see, like a castle do, you see banners on it that show Lord Carmine's family crest of like these twirling like ravens that go up and turn. And you know the raven iconography is not the Raven Queen. It is, however, especially with two ravens, specifically two ravens. These are reference to Eleazar Ridiger, the Minister of Order. And then under that, it has, different helixes and medical-looking filigree. You see, like, bones, but it's not, like, creepy. It's, like, in a...
Clinical?
Not clinical. You know how sometimes old stuff is macabre to our eyes?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little on the macabre side. Maybe the further away you get from that, it's weirder and weirder. But right now, pretty normal stuff. And there is a gate. I guess a black iron fence that comes up and like curves toward the intruder side of the fence to dissuade people from trying to climb up over. Very high, maybe like 12 feet, with curled sort of claws. It looks like a bunch of hands just wrote all around this property, and you can see it stretches around this hill past where you can see. And the gate itself is big wrought iron. It says Carmine on the front of it, or I guess this way for you. And standing in front of it are two gate guards, both of which hold long pole arms. They wear breastplates, and they essentially have like this regal ness to them that is not always common in the Vales, but some dudes, especially dudes with castles, take on a few of the aspects that you'd expect. And they sit there and they have their banners of burgundy and gold, just like Carmine's banners out there. Their outfits are burgundy and gold with gold trim and like this dark burgundy. Their boots are shiny leather, and it seems like they stand there stoically all day and wait. And as you approach, Ant goes, "Got some visitors for the Lord today." And the guards look at each other real quick, and then one walks up and goes, "Yes, hello."
Hello.
No.
Sort of looks through the window. "What's your business?"
We're here to meet with the Lord on adventuring business.
"Adventuring business."
More like a business inquiry.
Yes.
A business inquiry. And who, may I ask, is inquiring?
I can't remember her group name.
Anomalous investigations.
that one.
Thank you.
Brain dead? Investigation?
Yes. Correct.
Anomalous investigations.
That's correct.
Do you have a card or something?
Didn't we have?
We talked about it, but I don't
That's
think
right.
we had commissioned them yet.
You do. You said you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Took 3
I
minutes.
give him a card.
Oh, that's right.
Takes one. Wait here. Gets up and he starts slowly walking up the thing. And it's gonna take a bit.
Expected.
You sit there and you wait. You wait. 20, 30 minutes go by and you start seeing this guy walking back down the hill. The other guard opens the gate, lets him back in, shuts it, locks it, comes back to you with your card in hand, hands it back to you. Lord Carmine is busy for the day, but if you'd like to come for the evening, there's going to be a dinner, and some people are invited. He said he would leave space for you if that is up to your accommodations.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I can accommodate that.
It's perfect.
Excellent. Sorry for your inconvenience. He wishes me to ask you to forgive him for denying you at the door right now, but he is eagerly awaiting visitation. But he does have work to complete during the day.
Tell him it's not a big deal.
We understand that. We appreciate him being accommodating as well.
Of course. Well, if there's anything else I can do for you, please head back towards the village, and we will send a cart for you, so
Sounds
that
good.
your driver does not need to worry about such things.
Thank you again.
Wonderful.
And it goes, "Oh, right, good, sir." All right then.
Yes.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah. And he turns the cart around, starts to.
I've noticed that you rich people spend like 60% of your conversations just like filling the air with pleasantries and apologies. It's very weird. What is up with that?
It's called politeness.
Manners and being
I mean,
respectful.
can't you? What do you need to
performance
constantly prostrate yourself towards each other? Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Blah, 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 blah.
No, it's just admitting that we are busy and we can't take time out of our current schedule to assist you, and we have to do it
Hey,
on
we
a
have a
different
business
day.
opportunity. Oh, cool. You want to come back later? All right. See you then.
Yes, we just take a more professional approach.
Okay, it's professional to take a bunch of extra time. You don't need to. That's weird, but okay. I guess that's why I'm a thief and you're rich. Oh wait, that's your parents. My bad.
It's about building the connections first, not just. It's about planting the seeds.
Verbose seeds.
Gotta watch my word choice a bit more.
Talking to the driver, is Lord Carmine usually a very busy man?
Oh yes. Anytime I've had to bring people here, he's, especially lately, been working quite a bit. Fewer parties than usual, but still a couple soirees now and then, which is pretty good for the tips. And when there's more people coming through, sometimes there's a chance someone will take a liking to your old boy.
I see.
Petunia.
Oh, you have someone in mind.
And so, the cart descends the hill, and out of the rear window of the cart, you see Lord Carmine's estate shrinking and then being obscured by the forest nearby. Time goes by. The day draws. You spend your time in the tavern.
Probably, yeah.
Many workers come through. Some people stop by. Lunch is had. You sit there, you read, you do whatever, you pass the time, eat stew, drink a
Furiously
little.
keeping a log and writing notes on the case.
Yeah. And after a while, the sun begins to set over the forest. And darkness in this late time of year comes early, which is good. Because it's about this time that you get frustrated and then you hear the sounds of a cart. A new one. Single horse. And a tall, good-looking human man, maybe in his mid-20s, says, yeah, is the... Oh, you must be it. As he moves through the door.
That would be us.
Anomalous investigations.
That's correct.
Yes.
Excellent. We will be having others for dinner later, but I figured I would come early to get you, since you're so close. We should be enough time to have a short face-to-face with Lord Carmine.
Oh, sounds
Would
good.
be wonderful.
Appreciate it.
Excellent. Well, if you follow me, and he sort of walks out and leads you to the cart and opens the door for you. It's a similar enough cart to sort of like this gold cart, and wood and like painted gold, not made of gold. You are taken up, and he nods, and right past the gate guards. They don't even ask. And as you approach, you start to come up, and again, this is all cobble, and there is the sound of running water. This fountain is in the front. And as you look up, it makes the way the water goes up and spreads out. It looks like a grand tree made of water with lights that go up into it, almost into the boughs, and like they twinkle a little gold. It's odd looking, but very beautiful. And you see the manor itself, windows, lit from the inside. 3 stories of home, massive. You see it stretch to the right and to the left several hundred yards before cutting off the corners and going back however long. Within the castle grounds past this wall, it looks more like a mansion up close. And then in the back, you do see a tower that rises up from the back. It looks like this has been converted a little bit from its original form, but it still has all the trappings of this massive castle from the outside, and like with a mansion attached to the front. It's with similar stonework, and you step out, and these beautiful doors stand in front of you, with relief of just a naturey scene. You see the moon. You see both moons on either side. Must be old. You see wolves howling at one on the one side. You see people looking up at the other. You see wheat fields in there. And then you see the doors open as you approach. And they open as one man stands and opens the doors. Standing about 6.5 feet tall. A very tall, lithe, beautiful man. With this porcelain-like skin. Not like hers, but like very fair Lorakian skin. Halvian skin. You see dark beard at an angle comes down and turns into like almost like a Tony Stark goatee situation. Thick eyebrows, like striking eyebrows, and deep, like brown eyes, almost to the point where the pupils like run into the color of the rest of the eye. And he looks out and he says, "You must be Anomalous Investigations."
It would be us.
Yes, sir.
Come,
Will do.
let us discuss. And he turns, and as he turns, there's from the front it looks like, very nice, like high collared, buttoned up style of wear, but it's not Halvian. It might be personally tailored, like a Methenolese mixed with Laroc. It has this sort of like elvishness to it in the flow, but still the corners of Halvian design of that really stuffy sort of Victorian. And as he turns, he has a cape, like a silky, sheer-like, goldish cape. As he turns, he has long black hair that's up in a bun, and turns and you see his long fingers sort of run along the door as he lets you in, and he glides to the left. And in the middle of this foyer where you're standing is staircase that goes up and around to the top, but it has a fountain of red.
Bro.
But it smells like wine.
Amazing.
A wine fountain.
Amazing.
Flowing up into a central brass stalk that feeds it to these many long golden rods or tubes or something made to look like the world, with all of the major continents that you know. You see Ubron. You see Kador. You see Maravar. You see the Fosslin Isles. Everyone roll an intelligence check.
20.
20.
18.
18.
Jesus, 11.
11.
Pull for shit today.
12.
12. Okay, all of you roll the DC for this. You notice that the globe is positioned based on time, and the lights above it cast shadows onto it as if it was the sun on the face of it, and it seems to have rotated to where you just see where the Halvian Vales are on the map. You see that, just over, maybe half an hour ago, it started to get dark, and it's continuing. And it slowly rotates, and you see the wine come up, and then it drips down from the top of it and cascades back down and falls back into the fountain. And you see him walk over to it, and there's some goblets around it. It's very, loose. He goes, help yourself to some wine if you like. They're not matching. There's, gold goblets and silver goblets and crystal. And he just starts to walk away from you to the left, ushering you to follow him.
No.
I'll grab a goblet and get some wine to kind of,
I'll grab a gold goblet specifically.
Okay.
I'll
You-
just follow.
You grab these goblets and you fill it with wine. Do you sip the wine?
Yeah.
Sip the wine. It's a beautiful red wine. And as you walk, he has you follow down this hallway, to the left of which is a bunch of windows that show out to the front where you came in from, and to the right you see another door, and at the end a set of double doors that are open, and it's maybe like a 100-foot walk, so it takes a bit. And as you get to there is a I guess the smell of a den. You smell like tobacco, and you smell like alcohol, and you smell fire from a fire that's burning in here. And it is a study. It is a place where he entertains people that come in for business, it looks like. And as you walk in, behind you, you hear footsteps. And you look back, and there is a servant woman. She stands there in just a normal-looking, black sort of, very simple, plain dress. She has a silver tray, and she brings stuff over, and he goes, "Ooh, thank you." He sort of waves her off, and you see he has many rings on there, and he looks at all of you, and he goes, "So, why are you here?" And that's where we'll end. And you guys can take a second. I know you're sleepy. We'll wait. And you guys can have an answer to this as we start to talk to Lord Carmine.
This was suspiciously easy.
That motherfucker's a vampire.
I clocked that shit. I was like, vampire.
Dude, the minute they said he works, every time they go there during the day, they get turned away.
But he has
So,
parties
You
at
are
night.
vampire teenagers.
His pale skin and then sharp black hair. Come
I
on.
guess we'll see. So,
Long fingers.
Rossi was right about you too.
what?
We called you teenage vampires.
We're not. I wish I was a fucking. If I was a fucking vampire, that'd be cool.
We'll see what happens. So,
Yes.
that's
Chance.
it for this. We'll be back not next Thursday, but the Thursday after because Sarah's gone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
But we'll be back Thursday after this one, and we'll see what happens in the manor of Lord Carmine, and see what you guys discover.
Treachery.
Blood.
Debauchery.
Wine.
Oh, why?
Everyone have a wonderful night. We'll be back. Love your faces.
Bye.
Bye.